Our people, we're here for a new day, new time to discuss Liberia. Thank you. Thank you plenty. The time is exactly 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the East Coast of the United States. Those of you guys who are listening, Liberia is approximately 8 p.m. in Liberia. Today is the 27th of July, 2026. I want to say you're welcome from across the country, from across the globe. You're welcome. Let's come, let's talk Liberia as always. I want to continue to welcome you guys whenever you're coming in from. Thank you for joining the conversation. It is about Liberia always. You remember that. Liberia is rising. You definitely don't want to be a part of this. You don't want to be on the outside or be on the periphery of what is happening in Liberia. You want to be in the fries, as we say back home. You're welcome to the show, man. You're welcome, all you guys from everywhere you're coming in from. As you guys continue to come here, let's watch the video.
Hey, Liberians is July 26. Celebrating in Grand Bassa. Everybody put your hands up. Grand Bassa, July 26.
Brother and sister working hand in hand. From the city to the countryside, today we celebrate with pride. From District 1, we put District 2, District 3, District 4, and 5. Let us celebrate Liberia. Hey, July 26, Liberia. We can let us celebrate Liberia. You can July 26, Liberia. We can.
Liberia forever, strong and free. Grand Bassa is our time to shine. Building tomorrow across the land. Different districts for one heartbeat. Moving together to the same vision. Raise your hands up, let's celebrate. Forget the problems, come let's unite. Come together, let's celebrate in Grand Bassa. Let's lead the way. Let's celebrate
Liberia. Hey, July 26, Liberia. We can. Let us celebrate Liberia. You can. July 26, Liberia. You can.
All of us probably on the 2-6, 4-6. We're not here for excuses. Now we're independent, celebrate, don't separate. One people, no case. Raise your flag cause we're free. Making the whole world to see. Our uniqueness and kindness, don't forget our great history. Yeah, put a dream on ice. Big up, we all forget the rights. Let's come together on a one umbrella. One nation, one people, indivisible forever.
If you know you from Bassa, no Bassa, no Maserado. Come join us to celebrate. Pretty land in my bomi. Preku makibi bapolu. Concantere wa jimerele. Breakfast as and Kimau.
Come on so we can jubilate.
Join us to celebrate. Celebrate.
Let us celebrate Liberia. Hey, July 26, Liberia. We can. Let us celebrate Liberia. You can. July 26, Liberia. We can.
To the gallant men and women of the armed forces of Liberia, we salute you. We cherish you. We appreciate you more than you will ever know. Thank you for holding Liberia high. Liberia is rising, y'all. I want to encourage every person from across the globe, Liberian especially, to wrap your hands around this country because we must get there. And gradually, the formation is coming together and Liberia will be proper. My name is Hensu Opa Dwalu. I'm broadcasting live here on the East Coast of the United States. It is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know in Liberia it's approximately 8 p.m. out there in Liberia. So you're welcome to the show. Today is the 27th of July, 2027. I want to welcome all you guys from across the country It is Liberia, and we must get there. The country is coming back together gradually. I know it may be slow for some people. I hope and I pray we could hasten the process aggressively to get us to modernity as much as we can. Our budget would not just allow us to go 10,000 miles an hour. But nobody can argue against this one important fact. There has been no president in Liberia's history, yes, I've actually checked, that has quickened the pace of development as much as been done under President Joseph Yoman Boakai. So Liberia is rising. Liberia continue to improve on every single cylinder. We are functioning on that cylinder. And I want to say a big shout out to the young people in the country that came out yesterday, man, to celebrate your country at the SKD Sports Complex. It was a big deal. Liberia is getting better from Zwedru to Saniquale to Buchanan to Fishtown, all the way into Sesto, into Bopolu City, into Vonjima, across our country. There was total celebration across the country, and I love that. Let's watch the young people at the SKD Sports Complex yesterday. It was electric. Liberia is rising, and I want you to join this effort. Wrap your hands around this pape and ask this pape for more so he can hasten the process to development, which he's doing, but we need to speed it up more. Young people, congratulations for celebrating your country yesterday. Let's celebrate together, y'all. Yes, Jared Dobley. You are absolutely right. Liberia will get better. It must get better. And I love the formulation across the country. You know, sometimes people think we are celebrating the small stuff. No, that's not what I celebrate. I celebrate progress in the right direction. Even though you might call it small, but we were not there before. That is what I celebrate. And that's what I want you to celebrate with me, my brother Francis Amo. That's what we want to celebrate. Chogum, Moses Kuber, Mr. Kuber, welcome to the show. Tanner Cooper, how are you doing, man? Ruth P, boom, you are here. Zina, Monoba, welcome to the show, my brother David Akwawala. Thank you for joining the conversation. Liberia is getting better. That is the whole goal of this exercise. Honored President Joseph Yoman Boakai, this country must get better. We are not saying there's not going to be faults along the way, where maybe the government faults us here and there. We will point those out. But our focus here is to point out what is good in us and how we can maximize that goodness so it can spread across the country and yield the kind of fruits that is going to lift this country and give this country to our children in a far better position than we met it. Phoebe Warranty, welcome to the show. Carino Tia, all the way out there in Sano County, listening on the ever-present Radio Buto FM 102.3. We say welcome to the show, Victoria Brown, K. Brown. Welcome. All you guys, man. Game, Kamara, Miss Game, welcome to the show, Mama. How are you doing? Everybody, man. You're welcome to the show. Liberia will get better. It is celebration across the country. Independence Day celebration, but the celebration was not just restricted to Grand Bassa County. It was literally happening across the country. In fact, let's look at the woman in Buchanan singing praises. So those of you who cannot speak Bassa, I will interpret. But when you watch the two women, it needs no interpretation. Watch them for yourselves as the machines enter my beloved Grand Bassa County. The woman said, Buchanan now wake up. Brian Bassa County now wake up. Y'all thank you, JMB, thank you for considering this Mate County and across the country. It's happening everywhere. In fact, our people in River G County, in Grand Gila County, they were celebrating too. Y'all think I'm joking? Y'all see for yourself.
Don't be jealous of me. I am carrying my grace. Not your bicycle.
What?
I told you that life is a race. And overtaking is a mountain. One day I'm born in my pain. And he has said me. Don't carry corners because of me. Wait on him. because I'm
Last
promised
month you
by
must be on a
extension.
roll. Last month you must be on a roll. It's taking on fire. Joseph Waka, thank you. Our president.
It was happening in Maryland County. It was happening in Wazulu Whiskey in Grand Jita County. It was happening in River G County. It was happening in Grand Bassa County. And it is just the beginning, because every single county across the country, all 15 of them, will have similar celebration. It is not going to stop. It won't stop, because this country has to develop, and we must develop now. Liberia must get better. This is the task that is before us. So my own wifey is here, Clara Howard. How are you doing? Ravia George, welcome to the show. Vanny Passaway, Mr. Passaway is watching from Jalatan community. Welcome to the show. Willa Demon, welcome to the show. My Esther son SB is out here in class with us. Auto, what's going on with you, my brother? Thank you so much for joining the conversation. It will not stop, because this country has to grow. The celebration was everywhere, and we have to highlight them.
Indeed, folks, it is a wonderful morning in the port city of Buchanan City, Grand Bassa County, as Liberia celebrates its 179th independence anniversary. Multiple traditional dances. You see these ladies and the kids, they dressed in the bright white and blue.
Yeah, that was happening in Grand Bassa County at the fairground. And I want to say, Liberians across the country, man, you're really, really brought tears to our eyes when you continue to celebrate your country in this fashion. In fact, the boys in Buchanan were not just celebrating, they were enjoying it, even they letting our coming on in Buchanan. Look, it is happening across Liberia. Yeah, we are not Dubai. We are not New York City, but the pace at which we are going towards modernity is what brings joys across the country. Let me tell you, most people across the country now, they have seen what government is capable of delivering to the people. Not a single one person will want to go back to an era that government did not deliver to the people. President Bwaka, you will set a new standard, sir. Please continue on this path. Let's elevate our country. Buchanan, let there. Let me talk it. Let me open talking. He said, "Chenny, Kabenya Bessen, what me? I said, when you chamber to Adubo."
I'm going to tell you about the comment. If you have grandfather, check it time. It is what it is. Don't get it twisted. I mean, you look at our city now. We tell us we enjoy the city. Who making fun? I mean, look at Pastor. And at the highway style, that the whole highway style, I don't say that the city is here. For Mark Video, one country, Lima country, what's that one? Who follow in place? We eat this over polar space. And you know, the polar space. One that the grandfather Joseph Waka. Bigger respect, and you know, to the Unity Party.
Biggest respect to President Joseph Human Boykai, because this country must develop. The good news has not stopped. If you guys remember what President Boykai said a few months ago, he's still listening. Listen to me very carefully. If you are in anger, if it agonizes you, it may you vet because development come in. The Bible says you must get used to it. I mean, talking like you said, but talking. The Bible says you must get used to it. Guess what happening? President Joseph Human Boykai is to delegate a Banga to Salahi Road. He's breaking ground for Salahi to Konya and from Zozo to Yella Corridor. He's not going to stop. He's not going to stop. In fact, there was a publication that just came out on the Ministry of Finance website highlighting this road issue that is going to be done on the President Joseph Human Boykai. I'm going to read a quick excerpt from this while you guys are coming in here. Press for immediate release, Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, President Joseph Human Boykai to delegate Banga to Salahi Road and break ground for the Salahi to Konya road project in Lofa County, Monrovia, Liberia, which is actually today, Tuesday, July 28, 2027. President Joseph Human Boykai, accompanied by senior government officials and development partners from the Arab Coordination Group, the Kuwaiti Fund, Badia, OFED, and the Saudi Fund, were dedicated newly completed 81 kilometers of Banga to Salahi Road corridor, and official to break ground for the pavement of a 50 kilometer to Salahi to Konian Road and 6 kilometers from Zozo to Yellow Road. I apologize, guys. I'm actually reading from what you're looking at on the screen. That's the same thing. I have to be squinting back here. So my apologies. It goes further. It says, I'm going to go in the middle. The government groundbreaking signals the commencement of another major phase of infrastructure development designed to enhance regional connectivity, facilitate trade, improve access to essential services, and stimulate economic activity across Lofa County and beyond. Through the leadership of Honorable Augustine Gafon, Minister of Finance and Development Planning, the government of Liberia successfully mobilized $72.8 million in financing from the OPEC Fund for International Development, the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, and the Kuwaiti Fund of Arab Economic Development. And it goes on, there's a lot of roads to be paved across the country. The president is continuing to work, and this is coming from arrest. We one of my favorite people in the government, Councilor Edwin Clark Martin. I love this brother because not just what he's doing the asset recovery, but what he has demonstrated in government every time he served. He's one of my most favorite people in the government. Him and Honorable Jala over at LRA. Those are my two favorite people in government for some reason. He says, Happy Independence Day. We celebrate this day. Let us remember to unite in the fight of all forms of corruption. This is very important that we continue to push back against corruption because corruption does fight back, and we have to make sure we push corruption more than it can push us. Louis Yasia, welcome to the show. Alfred Zubwe, welcome to the show. My brother, how are you doing? Yes, happy 26th to you as well. Helen, talk about welcome to the show. Rebecca K. Tire, how are you doing? Flomo Livingston, say Usman, welcome my brother, Mr. Usman. Phoebe Masakwe, also welcome to the show. Liberia continuing to improve, and nothing is going to stop the forward march of this very man you're looking at on your screen. President Bwaka, you have every right to smile because you're bringing exactly what we want to this country. You have refused to allow Liberia to move behind. You continue to push Liberia in front. We say, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very, very much. But sometimes it can't all be about celebration in the beginning. I listen to the Soup Boys. I will actually cover the soup today in my lamentations or my soliloquy, if you want to call it that. There is an expectation from Sue. I never went to LU. I believe the Lex assignment to I believe if you didn't go to LU, that means you didn't go to school. But I never went to LU. So I don't understand the LU politics or what Soup was set up to do. But I think Soup is getting out of control. They are blocking roads across the city. They are doing things that should be restricted to the campus. They're out there stifling economic activity across our country. This should be entirely discouraged. Soup, you were supposed to be a responsible organization that pushed the governance process in the right direction for our country. But when you start becoming hooligans in our streets, you're countering the growth that we seek. Watch Soup for a second.
So, folks, this is it here on Crown Hill. You see students from the University of Liberia. Student vacation party. I seated here relentlessly.
There was also blockages across the city. They were putting sticks on the road, doing all kinds of stuff all over the road. But I want to say this before I play Senator Edwin Snow, some comments he made before I counter to him. Sometimes I look at Senator Snow. I don't know what Senator Snow wants. I think Senator Snow enjoys Liberia being chaotic. And because he's in government, he has some money through government. He can exploit that chaos for his own personal benefit. So every time he speaks entirely to create chaos in the country and agitate in a way that is going to diminish the country. I want you to listen to him as he tried to rationalize the drugs in the country, why people were rioting back then, why people are not rioting now. People should be all in the street rioting for no reason because he just has a mouth to talk. Well, listen to Senator Tosono before I actually respond to him.
One guy brought drugs to the airport. There was a whole demonstration in Monrovia. People were demonstrating with T-shirt. There was a big parade for somebody, one Quita Dolo, who brought drugs into the country. The drugs that have been discovered now between the one at the airport and the one at the last one is 100 times more than what this quitter girl brought to air. And nothing's happening. When you post, you get attacked. The matter of fact, Rodney, Amara, Stanton, and myself now, we're getting more attacks for talking about the drugs than we should be seeing. People should be saying, well, look, you gave me some information. Let's work with it. Let's see what we can do. Civil society. What are you hearing from civil society? What are you hearing from the religious community?
You know, Elvin Snow says nothing is being done. Elvin Snow, I don't know whether Elvin Snow understands the way government works, or Elvin Snow is just only interested in collecting a paycheck from the government. Nothing is being done, but $317 million drugs were arrested in the country. Nothing is being done. Nothing is being done by the airport. You can no longer pass drugs through the airport because $19 million worth of drugs were arrested across the country. Nothing is being done. Nothing is being done, but most of the ghettos across the city have been closed down by the DEA of the Republic of Liberia, and it's almost difficult, nearly impossible, for you to sell drugs anywhere in the city or in any city across Liberia. Nothing is being done. $1 million United States was arrested at the entry point all the way in Cape County, and it was brought in by the DEA and deposited into the Liberia National Coffers. Nothing is being done. Snow sat, him and the likes of William, they sat together, President Weah, the McGills of the world, and millions of drugs, the kids in the country, were turning into zombies. Snow did not say a word. But now that the drugs that they brought into the country are being arrested and removed and burned in the country, Snow is mad. And he said people were attacking. Nobody's attacking you. But when you are being entirely disingenuous about the way you approach this issue, nobody will take you seriously, Senator Snow. How are you saying nothing is being done? You want people to get in the street and riot for the government doing its job? The government is doing exactly what the government is supposed to do to stop drugs from entering the country. And whenever the government sees drug anywhere, it seizes the property, it burns those drugs and destroys them. That's what the CDC government should have done. But on the CDC, millions, hundreds of millions worth of drugs came into the country. And President Bwakana is going after that very drugs to remove them out of Liberia. And you say nothing is being done? Senator Snow, you have what, 400-500 acres in Bomi County? Who's to know that you're not storing drugs on your property over there? Why are you guys so fixated about drugs being removed out of the country? Why you guys are so angry that President Joseph Yuma Bwaka is removing the drugs out of Liberia? Why are you angry about it? Why the Lex Oranis here and Elvis Snow and Amara Kane, why are they angry that drugs is being removed out of the country? So what is so vexing about this? Shouldn't we remove the drugs out of Liberia? Or should the drug remain in the country? Look, I'm going to say this to President Bwakai. Continue to do what you're doing. Remove the drugs out of the country. Anybody who won't cry blood, let them cry blood. I love what the executive director of the Executive Protection Services said. And our EPS director, Sam Gay, has announced that the government of the Republic of Liberia will this week incinerate the recently confiscated cocaine value at approximately $317 million. So the government said they're going to burn the drugs. So every snow you can go and cry blood. They will burn those drugs. And the government said they don't care what anybody said. They will continue to go after drugs in Liberia. And any drugs they seize, they're going to burn it. So the government is fighting against drugs. That your petty propaganda. You say it's the government all over the place. They ain't doing nothing about drugs. How can anybody in Liberia in the right mind say the government is doing nothing about drugs in the country? Have you seen any drugs that come into the country that the government is not tackling? This drug epidemic is happening globally, but I'm not even focused on globally. And wherever, every snow, if you have evidence to prove that there's drugs anywhere, let the DEA know they will go and remove it and they're going to burn that drugs. And if it's in your property, every snow, they're going to confiscate your property and auction it off. That's what a responsible government does. When you come on the airwaves and try to lie and say, the government doing nothing about the drugs in the country, that is not true. The evidence begs to differ. Look at what's happening in the country. Before, under your administration, every snow, you guys were passing around, and literally, I would say you guys were the importers of the drugs to the country. Now that the government is fighting against drugs, you're angry. How can you be angry that the government is removing drugs from the country, every snow? What's wrong with removing drugs from the country? Look, Senator Snow, I think you should focus on the people of Bomi County, the people, and by extension, the people of Liberia to do your job. And by the end of the day, the government will not stop. The DA is not going to stop. The security agencies of Liberia, they are not going to stop. They're going to go for drugs wherever you guys stop drugs, anywhere in the country, they will go find it. And they will take that drug, they will burn it. They will burn it. So no fake video from some fake Colombians. And even if the Colombians threaten Liberia, let's assume the video is real. Even if it's real, that means we must fold our arms and allow our country to be overrun by drug cartel? No. We will stand firm and fight back against them. Let them go use another country. They cannot use Liberia as a staging ground or a transit point to send their drugs out of the country. And if you guys have any connection to whatever station happening in Liberia, booyah, your connection ceases because drugs must leave this country. We don't want our kids' future to be destroyed. Senator Snow, you of all people should know better. And you say the government is doing nothing. You are doing absolutely nothing in the legislature. So the government going to burn that drug sometime this week, and you can cry up and down. The drug will get burned, and Liberia will continue to get better. You're welcome to the show all across Liberia, man. Chuck Taylor, welcome. Tracy Wright, how are you doing? Sam Fokba, and welcome to the show. Gracie Grace, how are you doing, my sister? Thank you for joining this conversation this afternoon. The drug will be burned. Marie Johnson, Ross Draper, Bummy King is here. Everybody, man. But before we start the show, man, you enjoy my big shout out to my brother Gamma You, Kesseli, for the other brand new song. As these machines are being distributed across the country, it calls for celebration across Liberia, and let's celebrate progress because Liberia will develop in our lifetime. This is our aim.
No matter the struggle, no matter the hard times, Liberia will rise again. Liberia shall prosper. Liberia shall prosper.
Otherwise, hope comes to Liberia. Hope will be given to our people. The hope that did not exist yesterday, yesteryear, must come to Liberia. But I need every single Liberian to understand this, to wrap your hands around your country and avoid vainglorious men like Edwin Snow, who believe that we must always be in chaos so they can exploit that chaos to their benefit. Senator Snow, when I come before the Senate after my appointment, I want you to deny me if you want to, but I will speak my mind because what you guys have done to this country, we can no longer accept. We need to understand this. How can, look, my brother Joseph Duba, you're absolutely right. How can anybody bring joy in the country, then they be the same person arresting the drugs again to take it from the country? That didn't make sense. In fact, we're about to start the show. Let's sing one more time to the young people in Liberia that went to SKD. Y'all made my heart was feeling too good because the way you celebrated Liberia. And we celebrate with you because Liberia has to grow. Liberia must grow. But before I do that, let's recognize the radio stations from across the country. Classic FM out of Kakata, Margibi County. Welcome to the show. Radio Margibi. Welcome. Voice of Lufa. Way out there in the mighty Lufa County. We say welcome on board. Peace FM out of Habel. Radio Kwatike in Bangabong County, Central Liberia. Ablije Radio. All the way in Grand Bassa County. We say you guys welcome Premier FM out of Bangabong County, Radio Gompa out of the mighty Nima County. Welcome to the show, Radio Yalima out of Seklipi Nima County, Top FM out of Zwedru, Radio Sando out of Greenville, Sando County, Smile FM, equal out of Grangita County, Radio Butol. The ever-present Radio Butol is always here in Sando County, Trust FM out of Bomi County, Punch FM, Mosorado, Boucher Radio out of Mosorado, DC 101 as well. All you guys, man, y'all, thank you for celebrating Liberia. Before we start the show, let's celebrate once more with the young people at SKD Sports Complex. Yes. This glorious land of liberty will forever be ours. Don't know her name, but she will be here forever because we must make it possible that Liberia remains here forever and remains strong. There is nothing that must weaken our republic. And you young people are the people that will strengthen Liberia. Thank you for wrapping your hands around your country. Remember, you own it. Elect people going forward, people who will deliver to you exactly what you need for the growth of our society. We are no longer, under any circumstance whatsoever, giving this country to vainglorious men who have nothing to offer this republic. Let's start the show, y'all.
Class Reloaded, the #1 online show that brings the truth. Showcasing J&B and JKK progress all across the country.
The Class Reloaded, we are online every day. Showcasing progress the Liberian way.
Well,
J&B and JKK, they're making the way. The Class Reloaded, we're shining today.
From Monrovia City to the other counties, development talk shake the country. We talk the truth, we don't lie. The rescue mission making people smile. Roads getting better, schools better, electricity stable, no more hoping. We see the change, we see the light. Unity Party doing things right. Who talk the facts?
The Class Reloaded.
Who bring the vibe?
The Class Reloaded.
Support development.
The Class Reloaded.
Who better arise again?
Oh yes we can.
Who talk the facts?
The Class Reloaded.
Who bring the vibe?
The Class Reloaded.
Support development.
The Class Reloaded.
Who better arise again?
Oh yes we can. The Class Reloaded, we are online every day.
Every day.
Showcasing progress the Liberian way.
Well, JMB and JKK, they're making the way. The class reloaded, we shining today.
Hey,
Hey,
hey.
hey, hey. Turn up the sound, let the people dance. Liberia progress, we get the chance. No fake news, we bring the proof. The class reloaded, always in the booth. From social media to the street corner, everybody talking about the new order. Respect to the hosts, they keeping it real. Liberia future, that's the deal. The class reloaded,
Truth,
Liberia rising.
progress.
JMB and JKK,
Develop.
the rescue mission, we move soon.
The class reloaded.
True,
Area rising.
progress.
JMB and JKK.
Develop, the rescue mission, we move soon.
To our people, you're welcome to the show. It's a beautiful show here today. My name is Ensu Opadwalu, and it's a pleasure to be here. Before I bring my brothers on, I'm going to say this to Soup. It's a special message, and I want you to listen and listen very keenly. Soup is an organization that was set up, and again, I will make this disclaimer. I did not go to the University of Liberia. There is this thing that we're passing around with. When somebody does not go to LU, the person not go to school. You know, that nonsense. LU is a 10th rate university. And you talking about somebody that didn't go there. Not the bull, you got some great students, but I'm going to say this. Soup, you want this country to move in front. There is nothing wrong with political agitation in our country. Nothing wrong with that. You restrict your agenda to your campus. When you're coming in the public space to stifle economic activity across our country by blocking roads, what you're doing is you're countering the very progress that you say you want. Let me talk it the other way. When you're blocking road and coming in park, the money, what is it to take to pay taxes across the country, you're making the money small. Soup should be a responsible organization that agitates responsibly. When you start throwing rat, chunking rat in the street, chunking police officer there, you're creating a chaotic environment. If you have people, possibly the likes of Snow, giving you a small thing for you to go outside there and cause noise all over Liberia to counter this great progress that we are having. Look, so people, I want you to pick up a few books and start to read about the history of your country, the economic history of Liberia. Understand where we are coming from and how difficult it is to get this semblance of progress that we're experiencing under President Bouaka. This doesn't come very easily. This is why it should anger any well-meaning Liberian when somebody tries to stop or in any way hinder, or we can say in Liberia, hamper this progress that is being orchestrated by President Joseph Yaman Boakai. Do not do that to yourselves. If you want more money to come to the University of Liberia, you can agitate responsibly. To not allow people to put you in the streets of Liberia. Every single day, you don't got no reason when you're getting the money. 45-year-old men, 37-year-old men, you're not supposed to be in that university there by this time. If LU shall start putting restriction when you move or you go over 30, you must go to next school, you might not go to day school LU. Because that the 35-year-old, 40-year-old men, they call it say a sub youth, you'll be passing in the street, you're causing noise. Chaos everywhere. I saw you all the way all over Maria. You're passing around. Yo. What kind of noise is that? How can a country develop under such circumstances? What's wrong with y'all? How are we supposed to create jobs in the country? How are we supposed to get international investor? We get entrepreneurs to say, you know what, wrong? Liberia is ripe enough to take my money to when you're continuing to create chaos in the country. Yo. You're plenty of von. You're causing noise in the country. Just stay on your LU campus. The LU, where you're saying that the only school in the world, you stay on our campus there. You cause your LU campus. You're just crazy. Look, I hope that girl dissolved the current president, that woman dissolves that entire SUP organization in level 1. If I were the president of the University of Liberia, I would dissolve SUP and any political activity on a university campus. Anyone will be a political person, go form a political party, but you will not be in my university. You need to stop this. Whole day, the only thing you know is soup. You get book club, What kind of book? What the books you're reading a month? What are the strategy you're putting forth? Why Soup by the time Soup get one small business or one small factory somewhere, and Soup meditating go away in that factory? Just will be collecting money. You're opening some kind of shop or factory somewhere, and for Soup will become a stronger organization. But all you do, whole day yo. And I go to 4 different universities, and I graduated from 4 different universities. But then one day I saw in the north, so in the university campus. But then one LU here, you get 35-year-old men, 40-year-old men, holding your course in all. So you respect yourself. You respect yourself. Let me tell you, friend. Welcome to the. You caught it on man, so you ran there. How you doing, my brother?
Good to be back. And yes, I'm a proud Scorpio.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. When we were in school, the quality of intellect that existed in students that represented campus-based political parties, the issues that were argued, the recommendations they put forth, they would sit across the table with government when the opportunity was given to them, and they would argue their case. If you ask these buggers right now, why are they in the street? They clearly don't even know.
They don't know.
So in my view, I think it's just because someone just passed some late $200-300 to them, get some cheap alcohol in them, and they run all around and cause chaos. I think
in the streets,
they cannot continuously disturb the peace. I'm sorry. Continuously disturb the peace. All that nonsense they did. If somebody has to go now and sweep the street, for example, as you were saying earlier, they stop the movement of people in between, in front of the university today. It can be every week. It can be every week. And I don't think, if you just check all those guys that are running around in the name of soup, I doubt even a quarter of them are in that school. I don't think so. So now these days, you put on some khaki shirts, you run around, because the verbiages that come from their mouths does not represent anybody at the university. Does the larger population of the university admire what they do? They don't. They don't. How can you be going to 40 years old and you stay in school trying to do what thing? When you got people, kids between 18, 19, 20. Those are children that you can born. You should be ashamed of yourself. Hide yourself. That you are 40-year-old, you still have not gone to school.
It's very, very angry, Mr. Damwe.
But this is where we are. That is not it. There's no purpose anymore in this. That's one aspect. Those days, the issue of militancy, that era is gone, because this was about the East and the West, global politics, and the position most African students or whatsoever took on the side of not capitalism but communism, but you don't have that today. It's not. Why do we want to stay in the past? You can't no argument, nothing. I don't understand it. 50 set of people just run up and down the place and just run back and forth. They are a nuisance to
every day.
I don't understand it.
Liberia, I agree with you. I don't understand. Liberia has, you have on our constitution. They can say, "Oh, am I right to riot?" Yes, the constitution has certain expectation of the framers, right? So yeah, you can riot, but it not mean every day you stop Mr. Damwe from going. Look at the kind of nonsense in the pool on the street. Then you say, we're going to clean this stuff. They do it all over the city. Look at the other nonsense in the pool on the street. They just blocking everywhere.
Yeah.
Every day, they create chaos in the country. They block all the road there. They cause noise. They put under the bapa. They bapa and they put on the bar. They get racked there inside. They just passing around the city, causing noise. You 37-year-old, you stay in the university. You stay in the university. Yes, I will give some latitude because I understand that we came from war, but it's been over 20 years now since we've been after the war. Okay? They usually start restricting people. But if they retell you not graduate yet, you got to go next school. Next school university is already, that's what people, it's more mature than anymore. People graduating university at 21, 20-year-old, 22-year-old. But you're 37-year-old, holding your calling yourself youth. Destroying everything in the country, creating chaos, scaring business people, and the government looking for money. How the government supposed to address some of these problems with our money? Soup, look, I don't know who's the head of Soup or who's in charge of Soup. You have great people, alumni of your organization that you can reach out to for some guidance. You can still serve good things for our society, but you cannot allow yourself to be abused by people that will just put you in the street because they give you small thing. There is no freaking way that Soup gets in the street every single minute when someone get my man, y'all go out there. Y'all go out there, the pape doing too well. Because when the pape do too well, we cannot come back. Let me tell you this, we have to really number. For people who really believe that Liberia has to falter, that Liberia got to go beyond to give them an opportunity to go in front, I said, turn them on fire you. Let me tell you something. You're supposed to want your opponent to do well because it makes your job a whole lot easier if you take over. But the small monkey brains of the so-called Wiashin, because CDCs don't believe that nonsense anymore. Most people that call themselves CDCs, they say, no, we cannot play plenty video here. They say, we're not CDCs no more. We didn't know what was happening to our country. They don't vias and smoke and were destroying this country. That the 5%ers that still are Wiashin, that Wiashin. Let me tell you something. Former President Wiya is not going to run. So you'll get beside yourself. All the jaja you're doing in the country, you got to honestly, you want jobs. How a job come to Sony Wing when you blow the road going to Sony Wing? Somebody carrying the thing to go sell. So, man, understand. Fight for the campus politics. Fight for the better institution at the University of Liberia. Fight for decent quality education. Fight for painting the building and hiring responsible professors. Fight for quality lighting in your schools and decent bathroom at your school. This was the intent of Soup politics. Now, honestly, you can talk on the national level, but restrict it on campus. There is no university in major countries across the world where the student from that university whole day they're in the street beating pata.
Let me say this. And I'm not sure, in fact, because I have a lot of associates that are veterans of Soup. Family members, in fact.
Yeah.
My uncle, James Fromoyan, that's where he got his chairman name from. And so I used to see how he was involved with, what was happening on the campus.
Yeah.
So providing guardians and all these kinds. And one time I was joking, I said, like, Uncle Jimmy, man, when the boy will do their own thing, or Sam, you don't understand this. Okay, I got that. But I'm not sure right now with what is happening over the last 2, 3, 4 years, whether there is any connect between their veterans and what these guys are doing.
Yeah.
I don't know. And that is sad because everything that is being done is being done in the name of that great institution.
Very sad.
In the name of that great institution. And we see that people from that institution now are people that are literally running this government. You can name them on your fingers.
Yeah,
the number of Soup people, that are in government. Now, these are your veterans. These are your veterans.
Great legacy.
Is there any discussion with them? Is there any guardians? Or is somebody now just taking this thing on and you become like a mercenary institution? Making a mercenary organization where people give you money, go cost noise, you go. Because look, the other day they went to LFA. Went and ransacked the place. For what? You find out they go here, they go there. So it's really not care what they want, nothing. So I think they just are gone for hire. Somebody can just go and give them some money and they run around. But this is sad. You cannot be doing this in the name of students at the University of Liberia. You don't represent them.
You said something that is entirely true. Most of the people that have run this country in the last 60, 70 years, they've been part of Soup. If you name the big players in our society, they were part of Soup. And they set up a great organization that should have a great legacy. Soup should not ever be for sale under any circumstance. But the route that Soup has taken, I don't know if they understand their forebears, what they put into forming this organization. Look, you can agitate politically, but you cannot allow yourselves to be bought and pushed around like you sweeping the floor and you put your dirt, they push you whatever way direction the broom can push you. You need to stop this, Soup. You'll get a hold of the better leadership. When Baba Malu get one soon money, he have to say that Ellen Gorme away, he's going made not again small thing. He realized he cannot get that, then Soup will say, oh, we join you. Soup, do not just join people. You are a leadership organization. You've created finance ministers. You've created information ministers. You've created defense
national
ministers.
security advisors.
Yeah, this is what Soup has created. But you get a bunch of look, I won't say something, but that's how it is. And then you need to stop. You need to stop. Yeah, you cannot defile this organization that has produced so much great things for Liberia. And you two, the minute if they cannot function within the guidelines of the institution, you got to ban this organization from campus. Let them go elsewhere and try to organize there. But this is unacceptable. That Suki be holding the Yachakla, the streets of Monrovia, pull rock everywhere. You cannot stop for other people economic progress across the country because you just want to. As soon as the money you get up, I mean, a whole 10 thing you go outside and go Chakla. Let me tell you something. This country, the thing that people in Regina see, the thing that people in Grand Gillette and see, the people in Fishtown and see, the progress that they're seeing, they want more. And if you think by more coming, that means it's going to hinder your opportunity to come to government, then so be it. Your coming to government should not be based on whether or not the people are poor. So if you want poor people to govern, you should not be wanting to govern poor people. You should be wanting to govern people that are improving incrementally over time. Let's improve the people's lives. But every single time you get so bent up, every time there's an improvement somewhere in the county, but yellow machine boy that beggar ready boy that let the people so that people really. The yellow machine, look at the former superintendent of Grange, the kind of way you got about the people brought and use machine here, it get there only, it get there. What?
Oh, so machine will get all low bed from Monrovia to
Grange there.
That's the funnest thing I've heard today.
I will put it up. Hey, Councilor Man, welcome to the show, man. We're talking about soup a little bit, whatever is in your mind. Every day soup won't riot, they have black and roll all over the country. And you guys have worked in the industry before, the defense industry. This is a security risk for me. They need to stop. Councilor Man.
Good evening to you, Dwalu, and good evening to Big Brother Sam Nangbe. And let me say happy 26th to you guys. A little belated. I hope the 26th was good. Let me also say good evening to our many compatriots across Liberia and the rest of the world, especially those in the diaspora. For the first time in my life, I celebrated 26 outside Liberia. And man, the people down here in Philadelphia had a wonderful time for the last 2 days. Saturday and Sunday, yesterday and the day before. It was a wonderful, wonderful time to be around and to see a lot of Liberians. And let me say a very special good evening again and happy 26th to what she said her name, Chike Pole Oma. Yeah, I met her.
Yes,
I met her
Nelly.
for the first time
Nelly.
on the Lindbergh Park on Saturday.
Nelly, yeah.
But happy Independence Day to all Liberians who celebrated with your heart, and it has been a wonderful time. And I was very happy with the euphoria of Liberia celebrating across the world. I mean, I don't know which part of the world, even though we haven't seen Liberians maybe from who live in China, Liberians who live in, I don't know, I think I saw some videos of Liberians who live in Australia and other countries, but I believe Liberians were so excited over the last 2 days and really celebrated the country and the heritage. And I say kudos to everybody. Dwalu, today, I'm not going to waste my time on soup. People looking for attention, I'm not going to give them some. They got the police to deal with, and the police will deal with them. When you get there and you decide that you're going to be rowdy and you're going to be rude and you're going to disrupt public peace and public order, that's why we have the police. And I think the police should spare nothing to spare nothing to ensure that and let people know that there's an authority in the country. People believe that, you know, when people say, you know, during those time we were doing this, we fought this government, we fought that government. When a tyrannical government and tyrannical times, it calls for tyrannical measures.
That's right.
But when people believe that every time now is confrontation and war and fighting that will solve your problem, then you will meet the forces that you want. And I think that the government, the joint security, the police should be able to decisively deal with these people and forget about who coming to about student leader or this person, that person. Anybody who violates the law must face the full rigors of the law. That's all I can say, because I mean nowadays they are becoming a nuisance to the country. Look, the Constitution guarantees your assembly,
That's right.
your peaceful assembly. It guarantees your march if you want to, but nothing gives you the authority and the right to obstruct other people from moving. Nothing gives you the right to say that because you're not happy, other people might not be happy. Your happiness is not tied to anybody else's happiness. So if you don't want to be happy, you don't want to, if you think things are not right for you, you have your way. When you wait, when the time comes to go and vote, you remove the government, put the one you think can get you what you want.
Simple.
All right. But you have no right, absolutely no right whatsoever to go and start blocking people, movement, blocking the street. All those things are attention. Because you see, when they start to walk the streets and nobody picking them or nobody leading down, they feel they're not relevant.
That's
so
right.
They must do something so that they can provoke the police. So the police get
That's right.
act. That's all they do. So that all they're
Start
looking for
jumping cars.
These people have lost their relevance. They have lost their essence.
100%.
Saying student politics, I think they have lost everything. They, you know, when you do things over and over and now you get no meaning, now you just become nothing. All right. And Dwallu rightly said, in those days when the student government, the student politics, look, listen to people like Komine Wise and the rest of the people. Let them tell you about student politics, about student activism. Let them tell you about those things and the meaning and why they did what they did. But now, every small thing you jump there, every small thing you jump in the street, every small thing you want to walk from university, you walk from university, you walk all the way up to Duko, you come and nobody pick you or nobody leave down. Then you vest. Then you say, okay, so they won't pick me up, they won't let me down. Let's start blocking the traffic. Let's start stopping people from going. Let's disrupt the other people. So why we do that? You know, I remember students from taught me how sometimes when they got problem in the school, then they start going to other schools and start taking the other part of the classroom from the school. But for what reason? You know, I don't understand what goes into your mind. Because you won't go to school, so other people not go to school. All right. So I think some people are looking for too much notice and attention, and they got the police to deal with. And anyway, the police wants to deal with them under the law that the police is supposed to. That's what the police is there. That's what they are being paid to do. All right. If soup injures one policeman or destroy one person's property, the leadership should be caught. They should be prosecuted for destroying any public property or private property. Nowadays, it shouldn't go when people go break people's cars, bust government buildings, then you get leave it and say that was demonstration. No, the leaders of that demonstration must be held responsible. And not only going to jail, they must be made to pay for it.
Pay for it.
If they can't pay for it, they must stay in jail until they are be able to pay for it. Let people know that there's a country and there's law. And that's why all of our independence people are talking about. Liberia has to move forward. We will not be coming back, and nothing can bring us back. You respect your right, but if you disrespect yourself and you think that because nobody pick you up, nobody lay you down for demonstrating, so you want to gain attention and start to destroy property, then they will deal with you. And that's all Dwallu I can say on that soup thing. I don't want to waste my time.
No, I agree. We're not going to waste a lot of time. But before we go forward, man, there was a massive celebration. You mentioned that across the globe, Honorable Nambe for Liberians celebrating everywhere. I mean, I saw it in Providence. I saw it in Philadelphia, Minnesota, Umpa, and the Plus, North Dakota. I saw some in Britain. Liberia, Umpa, it was everywhere. There is this new push towards patriotism across Liberia. Now, before we can develop Honorable Nambe, we need that patriotism. And the next step now would be, how do we leverage our patriotism to result in Vonjima? How do we, now that Liberians are beginning to focus towards their country is developing, we got a proper leader at the helm that understands that we got to build for the future, and Liberia being very patriotic. How down do we capture that patriotism to yield through in Ganta? That is the question.
Let me tell you something. I think to answer that question, we need to first understand why this sudden love for country is being demonstrated everywhere. Okay? Why? That people that in the diaspora are so eager to be able to identify as a Liberian citizen, even those that have not set foot on the soil. There has to be a reason. Nobody wants to identify with ugly team chief. Nobody. Nobody wants to.
True.
You know, when I tell you say Sussex got plenty children and got plenty parents, that's exactly what it is. These are days you can be proud to pass through an airport and put down a Liberian passport. You know, you and the immigration person can have an earnest discussion, you know, and oh, this, that, and they can ask you about your country. You're proud to move on with it. This is a time where you're traveling, you want to wear something Liberian on you. You want to, you know. So it's not just about how you call it, the Independence Day celebration. People are celebrating the culture, they're celebrating the food, they're celebrating, you know, whatsoever Liberian, because there's some quality associated with the things that they're doing. You think if this government was a roguish one and were doing things, you know, to bring Liberians, you know, to bow their heads down, who would care? You out there, you see development. Tangible development, you see the changes. You know, you can say 3 years, 4 years ago, we're here, and you see it gone way on the other side of the bar. You want to be part of that celebration. So that is the reason why. And to be able to sustain that, I think those of us in public service must continue to excel in whatever responsibility that we have, so that people see what we are doing. Because you can't take it away. That's it. This has become now a global affair. You know, from New York to Minnesota to I don't know where, all around the place, depending on the time zone. You see all these pictures coming out. And this year, it had no government influence, so to speak. Young people decide to organize their stuff, brought in influencers, you know, from outside this country, became a part of it. Now, see how this thing, the way this thing has spread, you know, see all those young people. Now, when people begin to say, oh, the government is not doing this, the government is not doing well, but the ability for people to be able to gather and express their happiness says a lot about the condition that is being created, the environment that is being created for them to be there. At that sports stadium yesterday, LEC were on. At that sports stadium yesterday, the hundreds, the thousands of people that went there, this morning you never heard about somebody dying, you know, until there was security provided. You know, people congregated, they went through traffic peacefully and everything, the police accompanied them. So look, Sussex got plenty of family members too. So we just have to continue to show those successes in the different corners that we've picked up. Okay? I sent you some videos yesterday and today. No, in Vonjema, the center of Vonjema, people sitting there, you know, having a good time. This has not happened since, I don't know, since when was the last time you have power in Vonjema?
Thank you.
We came from Buchanan. We came from Buchanan. Buchanan is, you know, when I entered Buchanan 3 days ago, I decided to do a live feed. You know, I mean, it's a whole different thing. Jam packed to the extent even today some of us could not make it inside the pavilion where the main program was happening. Why do you think people are doing that? Because now they believe in their government.
That's good. I mean, the celebration was literally everywhere. In fact, my two sons decided they were driving to Philly. Then the first time driving that long distance, two of them drove to Philly to have some fun there. And like the celebration was literally everywhere. I called the man, I said, my man, y'all driving, you're driving. They said, Daddy, go to sleep, we coming. 2 minutes drove from city line. They came out. They said every year they go to another city. And look, the kids, even the kids that were born here, they're in tune with Liberia. Honorable man, I love this. My thing is now, there's this massive patriotism towards Liberia. I mean, Honorable Number, you are right. There is something, everybody want to be associated with success, and we got to find a way to stretch that success across the country. Even here in Providence, I saw over at Roger Williams Park, people were out there in Philly, the whole of Philly, I mean, Minnesota by were literally shut down. If in North Dakota, I mean, all over Charlotte, North Carolina. I mean, it was everywhere. Honorable man, this celebration is getting bigger and bigger every year, it seems.
Most definitely, and I think that Dualu has said that it just needs a vision that you can inspire your people to, and then people get to see it. I think Mr. Nangbe could not have said it any better, right? That people now are proud to call themselves Liberians. People are proud. Look, people who before would rather say, I got my US citizenship, I got my this, I got my that. Look, I spoke to many people over the weekend who said, look, but I tell you, long time I put in my excuse because most of the days in my milk, I go hustle for hour, 2 hour late, 8 hour, 16 hour and things. But everybody say independence coming, we put in our excuse. We're not going to no work. and because we got to celebrate. But the thing is that Dwalu, it comes with, for me, it resonates with what was spoken about on Sunday, yesterday in Liberia, in Buchanan, and today in Buchanan with the special preacher, Paula White, for yesterday's service, and with Dr. Brewer today for as a national orator. And I think things just happen. Maybe God does things that is left with us to take advantage of. First and foremost, I don't know who were the planners of this 26 and the idea to do our celebration around our national identity, around our history, around knowing who we are as a people. And those two messages from Dr. Paula White and Dr. Brewer, and with the euphoria around the world, I see people say in Germany, in these places, people celebrate it. It just comes together to tell us that this is an opportunity that we should not lose sight of. They were absolutely right. If you don't know your history, if you don't know who you are, there's nowhere you are going. And we got greater things to be proud of as Liberians. Our resilience, our specialty as people who have fought to control our destiny. Nobody could control Liberians before. I mean, I was listening to the national orator and something he said, look, when even the colonialists, the Europeans were carving out West Africa, they were in Guinea, the French was there, the British were in Sierra Leone and all that. Those people in places like Nimba and Lofa and things, which were closer to those places, it was easier for them to align with those Western powers to say, oh, these people come in, they'll bring us this. They said, no, 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 no. From that point, they said, no, we will not allow ourselves to be ruled or governed by any foreign people. We will determine our own destiny. And since there is a republic that is being established in Monrovia, we will prefer joining them so that all of us run our own destiny rather than going to these colonial powers. So they make that determination on self-governance and self-determination. For me, it is something that, look, in the diaspora, I saw our children, and I've been having, some conversation with many Liberians in this place, and say, look, some things I thought the Liberian Association will do is to take advantage of these cultural things and bring out, because many of our compatriots have their children who were not born in Liberia. Some have never even been to Liberia. All right. How do we inculcate our Liberianness in our children? For people that dwell them, I can say that today that is one of the greatest regrets. Honestly, I have as a Liberian that I can't speak my native tongue Kru, because at that time the notion of my father was, and
Oh,
he spoke.
wait. So you can speak Kru too?
No, I don't. No, because
That makes her too.
you see, because the notion of of our people at that time, if especially my father, leaving Grand Says, leaving Grand Crew, going through education, getting to work with Lamco. They believe at that time that if you indigenize your children and you bring them back to the coast, people will bewitch them, people will kill them, people will do, they have all this superstition.
That's
And so it
true.
was even forbidding in my father's house to speak Kru,
Oh,
unless my grandmother, who would take
That's
my
right.
elder siblings and start to quietly, and he threatened to even say about her grandson if she bring up, but she would not budge. All right. But for those of us who were younger, he was keeping us under the shield. What I was
but
saying, what I'm saying,
your mother was Kru or is
yes,
Kru?
absolutely. Both of them
So
from
you Kru.
both of them from Grand County. But we were born in Nimba County and grew up in Nimba County and bred in Nimba
Okay.
County. But the
Okay.
point I was making to the Liberian Association, especially here in Pennsylvania, was that way back in 2009, when I first came to America, I was going to Harvard for some studies. I had an opportunity with some Somali friends to visit. In Boston, they have some place they call the Somali Reception Center, Dwalu. And the guy showed me where when Somalis come from, they come to this place, to that place, how they integrate them, they train them, they nurture them, they bring them into the American society, they make them prepare and fuse them into the American society, give them jobs, make them prepared. To have Somalis everywhere that we find way for these guys to integrate into the American society. But you come to America, Liberia is everybody for yourself, God for all. We always like that individualistic kind of tendency. Somebody will tell you, but I came to America and somebody helped me to settle. Me, I also on my own. So who coming with? But that's why you have an association. And I said that these cultural things, we could, during these summer breaks, we could have our children who are from Liberian heritage, even though they are American children born here, but you could have different cultural program of our country that these children could learn. They could learn about the Gola people, they could learn about the Va people, the Mende people, the Loma people, the Days, the Gios, the Manos, the Cruz, and those children will keep their heritage. Because I know that Dwalu, I lived for 15 years in Ghana. I saw Ghanaians for vacation and different festivals bring their families from Europe and from the diaspora. They bring their children, and even in those countries, sometimes they have the miniature of those festivals. Like maybe the people from Cape Town will have the Basagama festival in Germany or in America or somewhere else. You understand? So I said, but you have all these associations. You have the Grand Master Association here. You have this association. So what do you do culturally? So now I just say that I hope that this can be an opportunity that now that we have that euphoria, our children are proud. Now our children graduating from high schools and even from college. Some of them have never even seen the shows of Liberia, but they are proud to carry Liberian flags. They are proud now to tell people that they are from Liberia. But culturally, what are we bringing to for these children in the diaspora? And I hope that the diaspora organizations and not individuals, because individuals cannot do that, to take advantage of these things so that we start to build our culture, because that is how now you have people going to places like Ghana. Look at the history that Liberia has. But people go to places like Ghana, I think that Ghana is the real African Republic. No, it is not. It is not. My man, they got December in Ghana, they call it every time at the year of the return, every December that the time of the return. You'll be surprised that Liberians leave Liberia and go Ghana to go join the time of return. You see hundreds and thousands and millions of people leaving the whole world to go to that place. But what's about Liberia? We have Wonder Mile doing all those great things. When will we sell ourselves? So I'm just hoping that with this euphoria and the messages from the preacher and the orator, that can resonate with us. And I'm glad, let me just end on this note to say that when the president now takes it up and say, no, now we are going to focus on our identity, We're going to focus on our history. We're going to modernize the archives. We're going to modernize the museums. We're going to set up a culture center, and we're going to do all this. I think that we should also replicate that in the diaspora. And that is why I said that I hope we can start looking at changing the image of the Ministry of Information so that it becomes the Ministry for Government Communication and National Orientation. We can't go back to school to learn our history and things. It will not be possible. But through different programs, through different civic education programs led by the Ministry of National Orientation and Communication or Ministry of Information, we can begin to use these kinds of platforms and let us know about our history. I know Dr. Brewer did not give us the full detail, but I swear today I was glued to listening to that man. I was so amazed and I really loved it. And I love the euphoria of Liberians. I hope we don't lose it and just don't make independence now a time of just go on the football field and dance around and finish. No, we got to start now bringing it into our children. So that when we start, I saw many Liberians yesterday, Dwalu, who say, look, me, I coming to go to Liberia. Every year now, at least one time a year, I will go back home and come back. I will go back home. In fact, supposing me and Sam start planning to be retired and going back home. You know, that is good. But what's about your children? You can start making them feel Liberian from here. How many of them cook Liberian dishes in their homes? And the children, I can tell you, my children don't eat fast food. Since they've been here for I don't know how many years. You know, my daughter can go to school in the morning with one more Korea, put in her bag and get to school. And you know what she's saying, what she will say, but she's proud of it. Yeah. She's proud of it because she wrote a thesis that she integrated into that school system because of rice, because she carried rice and the American put taste there and say, what? The cassava leaf, we want to eat some. And she got assimilated into the society. But I'm saying that we have great things to offer and we should take advantage and not to say after 26 now we let it go and let it die. I'm calling on all the Liberian diaspora organizations to begin to come together and start to rethink. Instead of doing birthday thing and this thing, let us rethink. If you have a Grand Bassa society, let us think about the Bassa tradition, learn about the Bassa culture, learn about the Bassa history, and then teach it to your children. So that tomorrow you'll be proud that your children will know and they will tell you, say, Mama, I want to go to Liberia and see where the Bassa thing you're talking about, where it comes from. That is what we need to do, Tualu. And I'm very happy and proud to be a Liberian in these few days, just like the rest of us who celebrated across the globe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You said a lot.
I didn't see you guys with my plenty talking. Sorry.
No, all right, you said a lot, and this is what we need to do before we go to the next topic. I'm going to say this though. This issue, I want to encourage Liberians. Take your kids home if you can. If that one time said take them home, it's a different kind of experience. I remember when my kids first went home, they were 5 years old. My son was 6, the twin were 5 years old. And then every year after, they couldn't wait. My daughter, she can plan the plum season. Daddy, the plum season coming next month. Mama. Sometimes I even go with her. She will go with mom. Just for the plum season, she come back. Because she says she's never tasted German plum that's so sweet. I took him to the village. All the way up in Rural Bassa, in River Says we went there. They went to Bomi. They went to Kibman. They went to the mother's village up in Hindi. We slept in the village. And sometimes you got to take them there so they can experience Liberia in a different light. It is extremely important. And now they're glued. They're entirely glued. And my daughter would say, well, Daddy, when I graduate, I want to go to Liberia. If that 2 years, and spend, helping kids. She wants to be a pediatrician. That's the kind of transition I want people to make to the country, because if we start doing that, and Honorable Mom, highlighted something, and I want to say this though, guys, we can have the celebrations, we can do everything. If we don't find a way to economically capture this in terms of money and make sure that money translates into Liberia, we are losing in some fashion. So the Liberian organization has to find a way that this new push or this new urge for patriotism regarding Liberia globally, we got to find a way to capture it and then translate that into Yala, into Totota. It must be translated there where something we can touch and feel. This is how we transform the country. Like he spoke about the Ghanaians, billions of dollars. Look up the numbers, the year of return. Every year they're generating billions of dollars, and every year it gets bigger and bigger. All your Kobo shop you see around Liberia, it will be improved. Your guest houses, they all will be occupied. These people make a lot of money. So if a typical person comes to Liberia, this is a guesstimation. Prove me wrong. If I'm in Liberia, let me use me for an example. When I'm in Liberia, If I go by myself, I go with my children because I go with my children, it's too expensive. But when you're in Liberia for 30 days, you will spend nothing less than $5,000 minimum. Some people spend way more, but $5,000, that's a lot of money. Remember now, the average Liberian, they live on approximately $1,200 most per year. So if you're spending $5,000 in 30 days, that's a lot of money being pumped into the Liberian economy. We got to find a way to stretch that and translate that into Liberia. I think this is the job of the organizations here, or even the one that was set up by the president, the Liberian Diaspora Council, I forget what it's called, how we can capture this, because this is a big deal, Honorable Man. Before we go to the next topic, okay, Mr. Nambe, anything?
I got one comment to make. And I think there's an opportunity that we keep missing, at least for the last 2 years, in terms as associated with the July 26th celebration here. We've not been able to catalog the business opportunities, that is provided every time these events are held. And this is something I think the Ministry of Commerce or whatsoever, labor or whosoever need to be able to pick up. Because at these programs, it was not just about young people going and, having fun, this and that, but there were stalls, where, local entrepreneurs had their stuff and sales were going on. Food were being sold, crafts, arts and crafts were being sold around and all those kinds of things. So if you can be able to at least have some statistics around that and say, look, this is how much was generated, this event, and you compare it to last year's event, compare it to next year's event, then people begin to think and say, look, now it's an opportunity that we all can make some money, so we plan for it. Then we begin to decentralize it, go to different counties, say, this year we'll put it in 3-4 counties, so that it happens simultaneously. Because it's an opportunity. There were a lot of monies that were made. Yeah. And the same thing with even the county meet. Nobody's documenting that.
Yeah,
nobody's documenting that. The last comment I wanted to make on the issue of return is that the fact is that we've seen an increase in the number of people that are coming back annually, either during Christmas or these kinds of holidays, and they are not coming alone anymore. I associate with Calabash a lot, and I see things, I observe a lot of things. So there are a lot of older people that are coming as well.
Yeah.
And younger children accompany, their parents. So you see this person will bring their father or their mother, aged. You can understand that, I won't go home, at least I see Maria for the last time before God can carry me.
Yeah.
So they will struggle, go there, but once they seated, the food and everything, have nice time. But you see all these young kids running all around and this and that. So it's something that we need to acknowledge. It's not just about you, Dualu, or your wife, you and your wife coming, but we see this trend to where older people, are coming back just to hang out. Probably it might be their last visit, whatever God has for them. But younger kids are also coming. I just wanted to make that point.
Mr. Nambe, you're absolutely correct, and that is how countries around the world measure the impact of any event on the economy, even in the World Cup. Just here in Philadelphia, the tri-state, they now being given the estimated impact it had on the economy here. The restaurants, they capture how much. They will tell you that almost 50 billion or million or this one was spent during this time. That's and right. It was not that, and that money did not come to government, but it came into the economy because private entrepreneurs benefited. And you're absolutely correct. Maybe it's a time that, I know people sometimes they like for us to say this, but I'll say this. Sometimes it's not everybody the celebration to go, you just go dance and enjoy. Some people got to do some work, These statistics, because you see, the naysayers, the people who still believe that the only time I can shine if I step on you and step you down. So
Yes.
Marcel, remember tell Marcel to leave me with a Samuel 12 voice business. I'm proud to be a librarian. Yesterday, I'm proud to be a librarian.
Don't be crying. Don't be crying.
I'm crying. I'm not crying. So, sorry, excuse me. But the point I'm making is that you're right. Because when people say all this celebration and nothing happening, the people ain't got money in that economy, then you're supposed to show what went into our local economy just even around Painesville yesterday.
Yeah.
I can tell you, maybe if you check your maybe all the, because me, I'm not a librarian, we would like it or not, you might all the beer, all the stuff, everything they finish.
And same thing in Buchanan.
You know,
same thing in Buchanan.
I mean, the vendors around this Pennsylvania yesterday, I mean, from Saturday to Sunday, you know, the food and things, people, so look, the people say they closed their park at 8. I left the park at 11:15 last night, and people will stay there. Even though the police can start towing their cars, the people say we carry, we'll go pay for it, we'll call our cars. But how many people don't leave at 8 o'clock? I can't leave. People were still there playing music. I left that at 11:15. You know, that is, but for Liberia, you're right. The Bassa economy, what happened? Those little shops, those little things, how much food is sold, how much money they made extra, how much work they put into the economy.
Money was made. Money was made in Bassa.
When people bring tourists into your country, they don't measure, they look at the hotels, how much money people spend in that county.
Yep.
And we need to start doing that statistic so that people know that people benefit. And Mr. Nut, is the number, you're right. So when we start to do this, not wait for only 26, and we start waiting for these various things. Look, Liberia, one thing I say, Liberia is advantageous, Liberia is small. People will move to the Bassa Dumba Festival, which will not be on 26, it will be different time. People will move to the Basajama Festival for different time. Liberians will move to Nimba maybe for some cultural thing.
Kiba Festival.
Liberia may even start going to the Grand Crew people for some war dance and some special festival. And that's how people do it. I know that, look, in Accra, the people from, they call it Elmina, in the central region, they got the deer hunting festival. That special festival where they got to start that festival, they got to go and run the men. Young men can go and run behind deer and catch it. And you see people come from all over the world just for that. Easter time, they get another place in the Eastern weekend they call Kwewu. You go to that place Easter time, you wonder what Easter weekend, that's just another Christmas there. Then they got the Ashanti people with their own, with Ashanti Hini. Then they got the Gan people where
it's continuous.
Yes, for the Homo Festival, they bring their children, they come, they that whole month, no beating drum, no playing loud music, no playing music in the street, all the bars don't play music, no people walk the streets with their white cloth, the tie, with their bare feet. Look, you see somebody come from America, you see big men who say he got PhD, got money, they walk with their bare feet for the culture, then they sit down with the family around the thing. It's only get a gari, you put real oil on it, they cut it quickly, they just eat that thing, but they bring their children to that. You understand? So if Liberia starts to know our history, if we start to appreciate our culture, I can tell you every county will have a major cultural festival apart from 26 and Christmas.
That's
that
right.
People now will come to associate with. And guess what will happen, Sam? If annually they're doing something in Grand Crew, that people, the Southeasterners from Grand Crew can come every year to that county. The next thing you have your late money, you go build one day 2-bedroom house in Grand Crew, you go sit down there.
Thank you.
When you come now, you have your home there. You bring your children there. That's how people develop their different counties. They think it's nothing in our county, so nobody wants to move there. So everybody coming to the city. But if we drive back there with culture and tradition, trust me, I hear people here tell you, say, oh, I take my 401k. That dollar, how you can call it 401k? Somebody said, I take 40,000, I go build house in Maria. I do yes, but somebody could take 20,000 and go build a nice place in Cape Mount. That every year when I go, I got my house. If I'm there, I'll put Airbnb, people having program, people can rent it, and they will do this, I will get some money. They will not be sending out for nothing. Electricity going there, roads going there. So what's about the people not going there? So Mr. Number, you are right. All along we've cried for this thing. Yeah, people telling you, say, Tony say, coming, nothing happening in Liberia. They know why people celebrating. There's nothing to celebrate. No, the orator said there is everything to celebrate. There's everything to celebrate as Liberians. And we must celebrate. We can't keep it hidden. We can't hide our pride. We can't lock it down.
Yeah. We must pass it on, and I think we're doing that. Blair, welcome to the show. Before we actually leave tonight, and Blair, before I come to you to talk it, we can talk, but I really want to celebrate the young people in Liberia yesterday for the organization at the SKD Sports Complex. This thing was so massive. I love it, and I can guarantee you going forward, this thing will possibly get bigger and bigger and bigger. Blair, before you come in to speak on the celebration across the globe yesterday, let's watch these young people sing the national anthem a little bit at the SKD Sports Complex. It was so great. I watched that stuff yesterday. I just loved it. Yes, that was a celebration at the SKD Sports Complex, literally the first of its kind in Liberia. But we want more. But now we got to find a way to capture the economic aspect of that so we can expand across the country. Blair, welcome to the show. What's going on with you? How are you thinking about the celebrations yesterday across the globe? I don't know if you guys had some in Belgium or whatever it was. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening to everyone. My two big brothers. Okay. Yeah, in Belgium they had something yesterday, but the weather forecast was not so promising. So I just decided to stay home, and I think people went there, they enjoyed themselves. But I was basically, looking at country yesterday. For me, that was the most important aspect of it. The celebration there in Grand Bassa County, there in Buchanan City. It's not just the events, but the president delivering on his promises to the Liberian people. I watched attentively, those machines going to the southeast. The people from Grand Juda County came all the way to Toastown with their machines. You had the people. I mean, you could see the jubilation in the people. You saw the people from River G County. Those mothers. Those mothers are the people who go on a farm.
That's it.
Because they know it's what's going to benefit them, And the people from Grand Cru County, Harper City, we saw it today. Sino County, the Cru people say Cru people know how to pronounce. Now the both people in the country because call it Sino County, So I mean, it was great.
They say you must sign before you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's unprecedented. This government and most of the presidents, lieutenants, they're solo language, and they make things have a future appointees of government. Because the grade that they are scoring, if somebody gets in that shoes tomorrow, like they say, your son can't fit that shoes, and so the mayor's already wearing size 14. And
look, my man Blair.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming. So it's a very big shoes. Look what this girl did yesterday. The minister, what this lady did yesterday. Okay, the young people of Liberia. Let's say, I mean, the thing was sporadic across the country, but that's in Maserado. What the young people, how they saw themselves yesterday, is the very first time they've seen themselves in the independence event. It was youthful. Okay, the young people enjoy themselves. I look at the local economy. I mean, a few days ago, when we were talking about it, I spoke about the local economy. The macroeconomy is what benefits the people. The macroeconomy is for the people, the local people, the ordinary people, the people we call the grassroots, the masses. The bela ball, Omar, the pepper finished on the market yesterday. The bela balls finished, the okra finished. We go to the lapapido. They sold the cobbles. It finished. All of those lapa nose were tight in this festive season. The people realized the true essence of democracy and governance. That's what we saw all across the country, my brother. And what Councilor Ma, just last what Councilor Ma was talking about, we can have all of these things, but if we cannot measure the gains in terms of what we actually realize in terms of the tourism aspects, these things must be calculated. It must be realized in the real economy that we will say Okay, that Ambassador Anagona and tourism people, they did well by bringing that young man to Liberia, but we must be able to calculate the gains after that in the real economy, in tourism. We did this hospitality, restaurants. The gains are coming to Liberia. That what one girl from Ghana said. She said, "I see some of you Ghanaians are posting Liberia and Ghana. Which one is more developed?" The girl said, "If I catch anybody doing it again, I will go to the places in Ghana here. I would put Jew in the air. Let people see Ghana for real." Say Liberia fought war, they destroyed, and they are rebuilding. And what we are doing tomorrow, government officials tonight are trooping on Banga City. The president will be in Banga tomorrow, dedicating 80 kilometers of road from Banga to Salaye. And then we'll be breaking ground for 50 kilometers of road again from Salaye to Cornea. Why before the other people come from Medicoma all the way to Vanjama, Sola Nangbe have already electrified Kolahun, Vanjamine, and all of those places. These are the gains that we are realizing, and I must stop here and tell the Liberian people, amidst these gains, people will want to distract us. Let leave the experts to fight the menaces, and let allow the experts that develop to develop.
Man, thank you so much. What a great transition. And I love that. I want to also talk just one round, just go around the horn before we go to the real meat of this stuff tonight. It's a dedication of this road from Banga to Salaye. 81 kilometers. This is a big deal, but that's not where it stops. In fact, there was a publication right now on the Ministry of Finance website stating what's actually going to be happening out there and some of the money that is being spent. A quick excerpt here from the publication from the Ministry of Finance website. It says the groundbreaking signals the commencement of another major phase of infrastructure development designed to enhance regional connectivity, facilitate trade, improve access to essential services, and stimulate economic activity across Lofa County and beyond. Through the leadership of Honorable Gafuan, Minister of Finance and Development Planning, the government of Liberia successfully mobilized $72.8 million in financing through the OPEC fund. So the government has also secured financing commitment from the Saudi Fund for Development to pave the remaining 64 kilometers from Cornea to Vonjiman Road, completing a vital transport corridor that will strengthen connectivity to the Lofa County and enhance across neighboring Guinea. So these roads are being built. One thing I love what the government has done, now it's not just tackling the major road, put aside the yellow machines that are coming to the country, but the other funding that is coming to the Honorable Nangbe, these funding from the Saudi Bank, from the Kuwaiti Fund, from the World Bank, they are tackling now. We all know about the PV4 deal from Douala all the way to Bulwater. So this is a full-lane thoroughfare, but we know most of Lofa will be connected, so that entire corridor. One of the reasons why I love this arrangement, our bread basket coming from Bon, Nima, and Lofa, all the roads over there are being tackled. They will feed the rest of the road into the southeast. Now, even though they're paving the road going to like Fishtown, into Zwedru, but that major corridor is being handled. If that corridor is handled, we could really speed up development, especially with the agricultural machines coming on about number.
Let me tell you something. And sometimes I like to reference, the history of all of these decisions, because I was very, very fortunate, for example, when I came back to this country to work for the Ministry of Public Works. So there's a lot I can say about the roads infrastructure sector, just as I know about the energy sector. When the agenda for transformation was being developed, there was a discussion about investing in the economic corridor. And so the route from Menikoma coming down to join Banga all the way to Ganta and then down to Hapo was one corridor, and the second corridor was from Bulwater side to Buchanan down to Greenville and on to Hapo. And so if you imagine that, it's almost like, circling around, and so they say if you make that investment and get all of these roads paved, then all of the downstream things, whether this is trans border trade, mind you, from Menicoma, which borders with Sierra Leone, coming down to Banga, even before now, was a major transit route where people were taking advantage of the free port. So if you're coming from Guinea, if you're from Mali, even in Sierra Leone, the first region of Guinea, they would rather do their transaction via the free port as opposed to wanting to go to Conakry and thereabout.
Yeah.
So it was very critical. So you get a lot of revenue from that process. So if you took that route and go to Ganta, and that is why the road pavement or rehabilitation from Red Light all the way to Ganta were extended to the Guinea border. All right. So right straight to the border there, to the bridge. Those people that know Ganta. So that was expected to attract movement from Guinea. But also in Zozo, it goes to Yela. There's another corridor from Vonjama itself all through the Kwandu Boni area, So it's really important. Then before you talk about going down, there are all these different opportunities, whether it's going to be issued from forest extracts or from mining, for all these kinds of things. The second aspect now was to match that with electricity. Okay? So those are the two major things that government needed to work on so that we'll move towards a middle-income country by the year 2030. So there is no mistake in what is happening. But what I wanted to talk about on the Banga to Menicoma, so that was a vision that was there long time. And if you talk to the president, he will show you the original blueprint for that. So this didn't just happen during Ellen's time. But that groundbreaking ceremony happened 2018. And like you read, the first distance, second round of elections, 2018, that groundbreaking ceremony was held. And of course, the former president had the opportunity to break the ground with the president emeritus there. But the significance, the thing that we need to look at is to ask to say why from 2018 to 2023, an 80-kilometer road, I think that's the distance, 80-kilometer road.
81 kilometers, yeah.
81 kilometer road was not completed, was not done after the groundbreaking ceremony. This was not largely because the money was not available. All of that was signed. The money was available.
Yeah.
What delayed that road significantly was the payment of the resettlement action plan. And this was something around $3-5 million, especially for the first section. The first section ran from the Banga to Balatua up to the bridge there between Simple. Is it Simple? Yeah, Simple River Bridge between Bon County and Lofa County, where Balatua there. Mr. To pay no rap because Lofa did not vote President Weah. Or the contractor needed to start, so they went ahead and paid the wrap up, to individual whose property was seen to be in the corridor of the road. Time for reimbursement, Mr. Tracy will not pay that money because Lofa people did not vote for the CDC. Why would they? All that initial investment that was made in that corridor up to Balatua, the road got damaged. And when I say damaged, seriously damaged. That road lie idle for maybe 1 year, 2 years. Nothing happened. Until later, they paid the money, the contractor came back, because the contractor actually withdrew all of they demobilized from there with between Ganta and Seclepie, because it was the same contractor. And I said this for a fact because I know, all right? And then later they had to come back. So, but just imagine that short distance. It took all these years. We accelerated, that process just got accelerated in the last 2 years. So that first 80 kilometers is done, 81 kilometers is done, but that's salary. And so the second phase, money secure, everything contract awarded, the president goes there to pay ground for that. I think that is around maybe 50 or 50 plus kilometer to take it to Konya.
That's right.
Yeah. Take 50 kilometers to take it to Konya. For me personally, I did that road a lot of times because I had to go back to my mother's hometown in Feasible. So I know what that road used to be like. You know, I know what that road used to be like many times, even as an adult working either for CRS or, for public works or whatsoever, we knew the challenges on that road. My last visit to Vanjama, just driving on that corridor from Banga to Salai, there's a lot of nostalgia that comes to you. And like, am I on the same route? Am I on the same route? It's a beautiful road. The distance is way shorter now. Yeah. And you can see a lot of things would likely happen along that road, either for people going back home, investment in different things. So it's a good thing to do. But I think I'm giving it to the president at age 81. Where does he have the strength to just do? This man has been running around for the last 4-5 days.
Can you imagine?
He came to town today. Tomorrow morning, he's going to do the groundbreaking ceremony. I'm even hearing that he might even extend another place to go to check another stop out. 81 years old.
Thank you. And this is good thing. We heard about what happened in Lofa because, like you said, on the honorable number, that road should have been completed. Because in 2018, when ground was broken for that road, it was supposed to be done. But this is the pettiness that I talk about with Liberian people. You cannot give a man's job to a boy. Now, I'm not talking about numerical age. I'm talking about the person's capacity to understand. The people out of Bon County, the people out of Lofa County, they're Liberian citizens. You cannot store development in Bon County because you say, oh, Bon County will not vote for me, so I will not do their work. That's not how it's supposed to be. If you see what President Bwaka is doing, it doesn't matter. Every single county is being addressed across the country. You guys remember what the president said about roads when they were opening, when they were breaking ground for the 4-lane road that was going to all the way to Bo-Wallasa. He said, listen, people will tell you that road will eat, that road will eat. The president said, listen, that road you eat, but that road can make you eat. And the point the president was trying to make, let's say you made hell of a plenty farm out of Zwedru or out of somewhere in Grange there. Before it would take you 2 weeks, all the plenty will get rotting on the road, half of the plenty will spoil. But now, that means you lost $50,000 if you're bringing $100,000 worth of plenty to Monrovia. But because now the road is good, coming out of Vanjima, or the road is good coming out of Toll Town or out of Zwedru, your plenty will not spoil. So that the road will make you eat. That means you get more money now to send your children to school and all kind of places. Councilor Ma, we're going to come to you. The groundbreaking ceremony being held tomorrow for these roads and what it means to the Liberian people.
Well, I think Sam has spoken lengthily on the history and the road. Look, I think people know what the importance of what the country opening means now. As I said, it is a bigger vision now. It's not about even only about the roads and all that. It is about connecting people and connecting our destiny and making us one. So and I'm proud that the president is not thinking about politics, about who voted for me or who did not vote for me. There are many good Liberians around the world in Liberia than there are people who don't want to see progress. But whatever the time comes for election time and they want to vote, and because somebody or individual, you don't want to vote, that's up to you. But right now the country is on a forward march. We cannot talk about connecting our history, knowing our value, promoting our culture, when we think that we'll do everything in Monrovia. One time I was listening to a replay. I didn't listen to the live program. I was listening to a replay of the Minister of Public Works. I think it was about 2 weeks ago. He had on one of the radio stations, I think Prime FM. And there was this young lady who I think is an ardent supporter of the CDC who called. And she said, why is it that the government is there talking about building roads in the southeast and other places when Monrovia got plenty patch road, Infinity, the roads in Monrovia, And so I just say, it just tells you the thinking of certain
Yeah.
people. Yeah, the limited thinking of certain people. So people who say nothing is happening in the country, nothing has changed, let them go to Zwedru, let them go to Hapo, let them go right now to Grand Cru and tell the people nothing have changed. Let them go to places like Bapul and other places and tell the people nothing have changed. So that is a trajectory for development. The president has said roads, roads, roads. And I think one thing that Mr. Nangbe left out was that, when this whole development plan was being developed and the consultative meetings were going around the country, all the people said they wanted roads. They wanted to connect themselves because it was so bad off. I mean, you couldn't move from one place. Look, people take things for granted. And that's why I don't like people to, I always say you can celebrate your success. Look, from Monrovia to Ganta, today, it is on an average speed. It will take you about 2.5 hours or 2.5 or 3 hours. In 2005, 2006, 2007, from Montreal to Ganta, we're going to take you 10 hours in our paved road. But that was the worst paved road you ever saw because of the quota.
Say that again, 30 hours?
10 hours. Almost 10 hours were taking you from Montreal to Ganta. But 2006, 2007, 2008, to go to Buchanan, you didn't have an easy thing? From Monroe to Buchanan, that was not easy thing, almost 6-7 hours to go to Buchanan. The roads were bad, but what quota either it can be easy. If people know the Bommy Road. So, but when it is now paved and it's fixed, people take it for granted that you can go.
Dwalu, sorry, Dwalu, check your messenger. I've sent you a picture of the road that he's talking about.
So the road
I'm listening.
To go down, to go to Ganta, to go to Buchanan, it was not easy. Now, I'm talking about even going to the southeast. As I said, I used to go to the I go to the southeast every year, at least twice a year, no matter what happens. Since 2011, I went to the southeast twice every year up till I came here. All right, the roads. You go there, you spend 4 days on the road. You sleep in the mud, you sleep on the highway. All right. Today, it is a different story. You can leave Monrovia in the morning, get to Zwedru and go right back to Monrovia. Do what you got to do and go right back to Monrovia. So that is what it is. And if we're going to boost tourism, if we're going to open up our country, if we're going to see the beautiful landscape of Picnices, Grances, all those places, the landscape, if we're going to see the kind of beaches we have in places in Maryland, what they call Fishtown and Wet'suwet'en, and those places, the beach with black sand, where you can walk almost 3 miles into the sea and the water won't cover your knee. Beautiful places that we can develop for tourism. Look, people don't know the beauty we have. How do you get there? Is by roads. So I'm glad the president is focused on it. He says it's for the next generation. It is not about the next election. Election will sort out itself. When time comes 2029, we'll play the politics. But today, it is now for development, and I'm glad that it's going to happen. They dedicate that road, they break ground for the next one. And you see, the positive thing is that now you got partners, you got government, you got funding agencies, you got people who are ready to support you and help you, give you money. Before, people didn't trust the people who were there. So money building was slow. But now the same creative people who come in and say, oh, but we'll continue the rest. We'll reach it to this place, then private people will take it up. So people now coming to the country, now private people, the private bond thing, private people coming and say, look, we invest our money, then later on we get our money back. So they have confidence now to say we can build a road in Liberia. You just pay your own as a government, stick with your own, we will bring our own, we'll build a road, then over time we can collect our money back gradually. Before, who can look at Liberia and say, I will put my money there and then over time on the road I'll get it. So those things are happening, and it tells you the confidence in the country. And all these things, I just want to end on this note again. I've called on the Ministry of Labor. I said that I know around the world, look, the legal term for labor, they got labor and they got employment. Labor ministries normally will look at the work culture, the law, the decent work, the work environment, make sure workers' rights are protected and all that. And if you look at what labor laws, that all that things speak to, that's what the Ministry of Labor will not do. But I think they need to establish a Department of Employment. We need statistics on the number of jobs on a quarterly basis. Liberia, I don't understand. I don't know if for people to take the statistics, I won't give any hard time or what. Every quarter is supposed to come up. Look, even if you don't meet job, if the job drops, sometimes that's part of the reality. Because people will retire, some people will be companies will be folding up. Suppose this quarter from this period to this period, Liberia created 10 new jobs, 100 new jobs. This time the job statistic dropped by 2% or by 1% this quarter. We didn't meet the target. For me, it gives government the opportunity to say, look, we are making progress here or we're not making progress here. All these small road building things, that new job, the contractors then who are there, they're taking people from those communities.
That's right.
They think what Mr. Nangbe then doing in Sino, then take one whole batch of people who working in Moria and say, you go work in Sino, why you're working in Moria? They got some people in Sino who are employed and they're working. What more are they than doing the working? Who's taking those statistics so people can stop telling the Liberian people, say nobody getting work, no job creation, no things? Who's doing that? And the Minister of Public says in the next dry season, in fact, in the next 2 years, Liberia is going to be a construction site.
Yep.
The men name all the capital cities that are going to start paving the roads. Who's going to be paving the roads? That the local economy. They're giving all the paving road contracts to local Liberian companies, and I ask them to be very dedicated and do that with commitment and patriotism. They will not give you the money, then you start buying cars for your side Julian. Then you eat all the money. Put some cement on the road. It can't even hold the car tire. Do the work, even if you make $10 profit. That's how you start with integrity. Because when they trust the Liberian companies and say all the capital cities roads will be paved in the dry season next year, all that pavement, and they give it to the Liberian companies. And in the counties, it is being said by the minister that in the counties that the local boys and girls that will be getting the job will be doing the little works. Look at what Mr. Samuka said. Unless they ain't got no skill in that county, but all the people, whether you get lorry driver, you get truck driver, you get bulldozer people, you get people who can mix concrete, all of them will be working from that county. But nobody taking those job statistics for us to bring it out periodically.
Bureau labor statistics, yeah.
We need to do so.
The Bureau exists at the Ministry of Labor.
But Mr. Namwe, the point I'm making, we can't wait until the president annual message.
I agree.
That the president say, "Oh, we created 100,000 new jobs." You understand?
I agree.
And the statistics, if you give us the detail, we can say it that look, this company, one Indian person came and opened the shop. He employed 2 Liberians. That job, we take it down. Like employment. The other road they're doing here, the city street, the paving in Kakata, new people who were employed, they employed 10 new Liberians. The overhead bridge, the building on the SKD Boulevard, they employ 100 Liberians. You keep that statistics. By the time you put it all together, you know how the new Liberians got new jobs. But we're not doing it. If the statistics they're keeping it, what are they keeping it for? For archive? I thought when people telling you say you're not doing something, then you're supposed to show them that you're doing something. Meanwhile, I thought when I say me, I let it be high on them too. But
you're not high on them. The high is supposed to be.
All right. And Value, you see,
let me come to you 1 second, but I'm thinking you. This is what Ombudam was talking about. This is how these roads used to look before.
For sure.
Inside the quota to drive on this kind of thing, it can be easy.
I remember
this is how the road is today. And this is a big transition from before and after concerning these roads. That's how important it is. And this road, they want bar on the tire. They get really TV tire while waiting.
I think they want the either the Basel road that time or Nimba.
Yeah. No, Tualu. This road is when you cross the bridge into Nimba. So it's that section between going to Ganta.
Yeah,
I was working at Public Works. Okay. I was working at Public Works at the time, and so one of the things I used to do is before and after documentation. So go there, take a picture, And that paved section you see there is the exact same section of the road. So that's in the Nimba side, on the Nimba side of the Banga and Ganta corridor. Just show the other one to show where you see those many potholes. I think there were two are sent to you. Two are sent to you. You see. So it will take you because
you said this is so what I would do is let me put on the screen. Okay, so you see this one.
You see there? You see that? So
this is
to drive on our road, to drive on our road, that's one thing. All those potholes. And I just had the Buchanan Road looking as well. I had the Buchanan Road looking.
Yeah. I had the Buchanan Road.
So to make this kind of transition, you can't
So you see, Dualu, that is why even the finance minister was talking about when he took Liberia out of the HAPIC, okay, and they were able to organize this thing. Banga Medekoma had with the source money for it, but the first corridor was from Monrovia to Ganta, the pub holes that Jai were looking. But you see the Banga Sala here, there's a big benefit, Dualu. I follow the finance ministry a lot. And what happened between that? There's 72.8 million that is sourced for that road. There is an extra $8 million United States dollars for health services. So what did the Bardiers do? Because the Bardiers that are already sponsoring that corridor from Banga to Salaye, they granted the Liberian dollar extra $8 million United States dollars to construct health facility along the way. You see, so what is happening there is that the government is not just carrying roads to the people along that corridor from Banga to Cornea. What they're doing there, they're going to build new health facilities, and the existing health facilities, they are going to augment them, make sure they put enough drugs in the hospital, augment the staff. So what is happening in this era? I mean, unless anybody, like the people you see, the people rejoicing. You saw the people in Grand Bazaar saying yesterday, 2 years. But Jeremiah come 2 years. They say we can carry to 100 years. The people were shouting yesterday. And some of the people were sending order. They say they bring up here and then how we will not welcome. You saw what happened, right? No, when change is change, like a change people. Change changes people in the right direction. Positive change. So what we're seeing around the country, more is to come. And the thing about it, the president is not politicizing it.
Yeah.
We, the younger stuff, we are the one that own our politics. But for the president, he attention on our team. For the president, he has a duty to this country.
Yeah.
And that is why he felt the people elected him. And that is the reason why he's not being an ethnic president or a vindictive president. There's not a vindictive style of governance.
Yeah,
that is why you see the first group of counties to receive the yellow equipment, the yellow machines, are the Southeast.
Yeah.
So that alone should tell you the kind of a president that we have. So look, the thing that's happening, the thing heading the men.
But Blair, why would it be hitting you when they're facing your horse? I don't understand. Look, let's go to the next topic because we don't have a lot of time. They'll spend some more time. Okay. The EPS executive director, the man said you can come up with your AI video or not AI video, real video. But all they draw when they get it, gonna buen it. He said it will buen it next week.
4.2 tons.
Yeah, he said we will buen all, and that what we're supposed to do. If you bring a draw in our country, we will seize it and we will buen it. Now we got people all over Liberia passing around saying the government not doing nothing but draw, but the government just arresting draw like the likes of every snow. I played a video from the beginning. The government arresting draws all over the place, and there are no riot in the country with the way they draw. And the government thinking about burning drugs, and the government going after drugs. They're closing down all the ghettos across the country. Young people are being removed off the streets. The drugs that were hitting all around Liberia, they're catching them from the airport, and the government going to destroy them. Why would anybody be vested about this? On Councilor Man, let me start with you. If burning those drugs, should we burn the drug or should we give it to the cartel because we're scared of them? Like question.
I don't know. I don't know if I hope the comments that you read, I hope it is authentic.
Because, he said it on the radio.
Okay, because now they get all kind of things that are coming up. But Dualu, this drug issue, let me, it just, I don't know. I can't put my finger around it. I don't know why. I don't know if the guys actually mean well for Liberia, or people are, or Liberia has exposed certain people. I really can't understand it. Look, Twalu, I was just checking randomly on the net to see how Liberia was progressing, or Liberia's fight against drug. Because it gives you a world view how people think about it. And let me just say what I read. It says Liberia is aggressively ramping up its national security and law enforcement efforts against transnational drug trafficking, highlighted by historic multi-million dollar cocaine seizures, tougher revised laws, and high-level government crackdown. The major drug busts, they talk about Dwazon seizure of cocaine seizure. They say the Roberts International Airport seizure, the port and regional sweep. The Liberian Drug Enforcement Agency, along with joint security forces, have executed nationwide raids, arresting hundreds of suspects and tightening surveillance at the air and seaports. The legislature has tougher penalties now under the drug law. The president president of Liberia has zero tolerance for drug. International cooperation in Liberia is actively working alongside the United Nations Office on Drugs and all that I'm saying that as people abroad see you and see the progress and commending Liberia for vigorously fighting drugs, we get some of our citizens in our country and outside our country who believe that they must find a way to, it beats my imagination. Look, I've done this work for many years, but now it beats my imagination to find out what is the motive. What do the guys want? What does somebody like Mr. Snow want? What does Amara want? Is this what you want to use to get prominence from where? If drugs were in Liberia and you can't find it, but every time you leave in Liberia, ending up other places and posting, but the drug coming from Liberia, but we can't find it, then we say, but Liberia is spoiling the name because drug leaving Liberia and just going to other country and you can't find it, or the drug just spoiling Liberian youth and you can't find it. But Liberian government has started to bust the drugs, crack down on the cartel, arresting people. Then you say they're not doing anything better.
Yeah.
So 3 years ago, when our brothers and sisters were walking zombies in the street, when you had ghettos all over the place, and you don't have it today, does that make people angry? Were it the people who are funding these things that is making them angry now that the government is not giving people breathing space for drugs to peddle in Liberia? What is the problem? And well, this thing what they call free speech, people need to be careful about it. And right now, in our broadcast terminology, we say we discuss issues and not personalities. But when the personality becomes the issue, then you discuss the personality. And today, I am going to do that. I can't say I'm disappointed, but I think that the caution to Rodney Sear and to Stanton Witherspoon, whatever agenda or whatever plans you have for Liberia, I think the Liberia Joint Security need to take those two individuals very seriously, including Senator Snow and Senator Connie. And I will say it again. They need to take these people very seriously, including Senator Snow, Senator Connie, Rodney Sear, and Stanton Witherspoon. Rodney and Stanton, whatever agenda they have, the lies that they spew out to bring public sentiments against the law enforcers and the fight against this drug, it is now becoming unpatriotic. Yeah. It is now becoming something that needs serious national attention. Mr. Sear and Stanton, they said that there was a raid in Royceville. Drugs were taken from somebody from government official house. In fact, what happened to the house? Why they seizing the house? No drug was taken from any house in Rossville.
I saw the interview.
It turned out to be a whole lie. Stanton own radio station people went there and they realized that there was no house. No drug from no house.
Dangerous.
So where did they get that information from? And Rodney was there at one government official's house. And they should see who government official, how you know. And what good the commissioner said, no government official get housing. In fact, no government official living in the Rossville. They Stanton, Witherspoon people went there. They didn't find a house that drug was taken from. They saw one old container on the beach. Whether drug was taken from that container, I don't know. But these two gentlemen made that show that day as if to say the government had officials of government living in Rossville and they had cocaine in their homes.
That's how they made
The same people put it out here. And last Friday, I was telling my colleagues on this platform, we need to be careful with the kind of information to put out. That the deputy managing director of the airport authority was arrested. That he had a boat and he was using a boat to transport the cocaine. It turned out the young man was never arrested. And we brought it on the platform to echo it.
Yeah.
We got to stop. Look, why we want to destroy other people? If people are caught and they are brought out by the police and they are arrested, they face the music.
Simple.
I said our own friend, my own younger friend and brother, Johnny, misconducted himself. Now he's facing the full rigors of the law. We're not going to shield it.
Nope.
We're not going to say, oh, that the man, they kind of color him. No. What he did was wrong and he has to face it. So any government official who is caught in this kind of thing will face that music. But until then, why are we lying on other people, just putting their names and their images and we think that free speech? It is not free speech. That's recklessness.
I agree.
It is not free speech, Dwalu.
I agree.
That is not free speech. We are destroying other people's character. They have children. Their children live other places or go to school in the society. People will start branding them when their parents' pictures are there. And then we use this kind of flimsy thing that say you put somebody's picture, then you put my picture up on the thing, talk about me being associated with Jordan. Say, I say you do it, but yeah, you're there. And everybody see it all around the world. Why are we doing this? For the man to sit down and say, if by Tuesday, he knows that Tuesday, Rodney says he knows by Tuesday, the government is going to be charging some people to quote. If they charge any government official and they put no government official there and the security book charge for other people, then I mean the drug war, they ain't serious. Why are you pushing? If you know the government official who's selling drug or who in the drug cartel, why you can't say it? I thought I see people who say they had the names of the people who they got, if they call a name, the whole country will collapse. I thought I seen people.
Around this that.
Know people who know the Colombian people who did the video and they say the video, that authentic video. Where you know that people from? Where you know the video from? Where you know the authentic thing from? You were the senator of the country. Instead of protecting the image of your country, you they're concocting stories and putting all kind of conspiracy theory out there. What is happening? Is it that people are frustrated that they bust the drug cartel? What is happening? What is happening? Why you want to bring the National Security Agency down? What difference you agree if you bring FBI people to the country? They arrested the drugs. They took the first 19 million. They went into deeper investigation. They found someone in the house to Dwazon. They went and collected almost 300 plus million drugs from there. They arrested people, foreigners and Liberians alike. The investigation is still going on. They're still arresting people. What is your problem? What else you want them to do? They must call him a Bini. So who your people you know that authenticated that video that you're putting all around? So because somebody threatening, and like Dwalu said, let's say the video is true. So because they threatening us, what we do? Yeah. So we say, I beg you, we want nobody to come invade our country. You can't take your drug and go.
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling us to do? Is that what you're telling us to do? Is that what these 4 people are telling us to do? Because they are running around with all these kinds of things. Why are they doing that? I see some crazy people talking, saying, yes, the government coming collapse because the Colombian people coming to raid Liberia. So you happy that the Colombian people coming to raid Liberia so the government can collapse. Then you say, yes, then CDC will come into power now.
Yeah.
Then I will working with Colombian
this
people.
is the mentality.
Working with Colombian people. That's why they were not raiding Liberia for.
No, we just say that over here, a lot of Colombians will come to our country and destroy.
You know, I don't understand what these guys are about. It is not free speech. It is not journalism. You are losing your credibility. Everything you thought in a lie. You thought the one in a lie. And you say, I've been in conversation with some of the suspects who ordered the country, the information they gave me. They gave you information. You can't give it to the security.
Give it to the security.
But you go tell the information tomorrow, you can't find out they're not true. What are you guys looking for?
Himself.
What are you doing? So if they don't tomorrow, Tuesday, if they charge some other Liberians and put them in court and no government official need there, that means the government not working. What is this? Yeah, I mean, I don't understand, man. Well, it beats my mind. No, right now, it seems that other people have a different agenda. It seems that they drug boss have already knocked some people hard, and now they are finding all sorts of ways to fight back.
Because what I've been wondering about Council of Man.
That's the only thing I can come up with. That people are trying to discredit everything because it is hurting them.
Yeah.
They're not happy that we're busting the drugs. It is hurting them. So they want Liberians to believe that a government official not there, then it's a government official there will find him. I always say, let me end with this, Dwalu. I always say that if the people they are arresting and make themselves sacrificial lamb for government official, if you know you are working with government official and you decide to protect that government official and go to jail for the next 50 years of your life, you will go to jail for that 50 years, the government official be there. But one day, if a government official there will catch them. But until that time, let's give the people time to do their work. Why we just and
they've been doing a great job.
And why the world appreciating what Liberia is doing, and they're saying thanking Liberia, other people out there talking say they're not doing nothing.
Honorable Nangbe, before I go to Blair, let me say this to you. The drug boss, I want people to understand. If you went to Amsterdam today, they're poor. They're busting billions of dollars of drugs monthly. If you went to the ports of London, in Spain, Google some of this stuff. Here in America, but just leave it. These guys are digging entire tunnels, entire containers are coming to this country. So Liberia is not like something new. How can somebody be fighting against drugs, aggressively arresting drugs in the hundreds of millions of dollars, and then you still claiming they are doing nothing? Before you comment on what Nangbe, I want to listen to Senator Snow a little bit, because I don't know if Senator Snow has an agenda or they're taking something from him that making him vet. I am not sure what his aim is, because I'm very confused as to what Senator Snow is trying to achieve. Let's listen to him briefly before you comment.
One girl brought drugs to the airport. There was a whole demonstration in Monrovia. People were demonstrating, wore T-shirt. There was a big parade for somebody who quit that who brought drugs into the country. The drugs that have been discovered now between the one at the airport and the one at the last one is 100 times more than what this quitter girl brought to, and nothing is happening. When you post, you get attacked. The matter of fact, Rodney, Amara, Stanton, myself now, we're getting more attacks for talking about the drugs than we should be seeing. People should be saying, well, look, you're giving some information, let's work with it, let's see what we can do. Civil society, what are you?
Mr. Nangbe, how can nothing not being done? That's double negative. It's intentional. When the government arresting millions of dollars, no more ghettos in the city. If you right now to find Zogos is very hard. All the community you got to do trains a ghetto. How can the government not be doing anything when they're arresting millions of dollars in drugs, Mr. Nangbe?
Well, it's not true. There's a lot more happening, and I always tell people that this whole drug investigation has gone up to the National Security Council, chaired by the president. That alone is unprecedented. It's unprecedented. So it's not correct. All right? But you know, in this country, everything is about the politics. It's about the politics and wanting to make one party look bad and hoping that there will be benefit for the other side. That's one. The second thing is, in my view, this is intentional to try to water down whatever gains that are being made. So it's coming in different shapes and different forms.
That's right.
All right? So, and Liberian people are not stupid. And God himself is exposing these diabolical lies. Because if I was any of those individuals, I would just slow down because the credibility of some of the information that they said they have is clearly not there. It's not true. It's all speculation and trying to hype this up and try to make it look like they have stuff. They may pronounce that there was a property that was bought by somebody who is high ranking in government. Then you go, you see a container. And then there's explanation about all the content they did, fool the people of Royceville that they were setting up a whole fishing arrangement and blah, blah, blah. Put that container there to do their transiting. And then they need to tell us who's the owner of this and all these kinds of things. But it's intentional. So that if these arrests are supposed to be made, and if there's no government official, it's that's what we do. But for me, if you have information that Sam Nangwe is involved in this, and a good citizen, what you do is to let the police know that this is my source, and A, B, C, and D. You have to talk to Sam. If you know that there was a property in Royceville owned by Sam Nangwe, you can't wait and just try to hang things loose or throw things and hoping that it can stick on some kind of some kind of place. It's not being fair. And I think there has to be a way that law enforcement need to question some of the intent that is happening. I mean, you can't just let it go because it's really undermining all of the progress that's being made. All the way they say there are foreign people involved in this discussion. There are, this thing that you guys is a multi-security, everything. You think, and stay. You say nothing is happening. What else you want?
Honorable Dangbe, welcome to the show, Mo. Brother Blair, let me ask you this. Look, Senator Elvin Snow has said this publicly. He wants this administration to fail. This is not something anybody putting words in his mouth. This is what he has said. Do you believe because he wants this administration to fail so desperately, he will make up any lie to pin this country in a way that will really hurt our people? Because you're not hurting President Boakai. Your decision to pin Liberia as a drug country or as a narco state, when the president is aggressively threatening drug, is intended to hurt the very people of Bombay County that he leads. Do you think he doesn't care, Blair? Or on mute? I think okay, you good? Yeah, you good now.
Now it's good. Now it's good.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Dwalu, this whole thing is an organized narrative. Now, yesterday or day before yesterday, Stanton Witherspoon is narrating, okay? And then he said this Spanish guy, they call the Spanish guy this, that. Then Snows corrects, he corrects Stanton. Is it not Portuguese? Equatorial Guinean, eh? You listen to it, right?
No, I see it. Seriously?
No, it did. Yeah. But so it's like a script that somebody has.
It's like a script.
They are aware of the script.
Look, I followed these guys my leisure time. I just stepped in between to listen to the key aspect. Then he came back now to continue. You understand? Yeah. So this entire thing is an organized something. It's organized. You have 30 senators in the country. I mean, Amara Kona is a good guy. He has to be careful. He must not allow his emotions to carry him in the way of of Aaron Snow. Snow doesn't. The thing that Snow and other people are used to setting governance system where they can take advantage. And under this administration, you can't find it. So I will tell you the fact, my brother, the entire thing, you go into it. And you see, when Stanton talking, he wants to make it real. But lies can appear to be truth so easily. Your posture, your countenance, everything Why is it out of 30 senators, only 2 senators just decided to put the drug business on here? Especially Erin Snow. Okay? So the thing here is that these people are not doing this from a clear heart, from a clear heart. You see the guy that went to the Spoon reporter? Reporter was the second. The first person who ever went over there was a guy from Kings FM. Yeah. He spoke. The video I put up is not even the commissioner, it's not the one from Spoon. It's the guy from Kings FM that went there. He spoke with one of the chairmen. And the guy vividly said in that video, when the people came, they said they want land. So I said, but these guys are saying the person who has that property, but now there's the thing. There is the image, running wanted to create, or he created in the minds of people. When you say that property belongs to a top member of the executive branch of government, the imagery you put in the mind of people right there is there's a mansion. Because you said there's a stage house or stage facility.
Yeah.
It means that person. And then he goes to say he bought that property 1 year ago. You see? The man brought the property. The contract, the man bought it. Okay, he said a powerful man, right? So he can pay a mansion in 1 year because they rather steal in the government cycle. Yeah. But I don't know. That's why I told the people this evening in my podcast, I just pulled it up. I said, look, let me tell you, we're responsible for the country by force. We from the class reloaded, outside the class reloaded, we'll keep conscientizing you. Because these two people, I said, it's not meant to be combative. Okay? But you try to look at what that intention, true intention are. Is it for country? Is it some kind of a animosity towards somebody? Is it somebody's style of journalism and publication? They are not benefiting from central government anymore. And they feel that the only way they can benefit from central government when they bring those weaklings in is the only way. So at the end of the day, they try to tarnish. But the thing here is that the narrative, the thing they carry out, that story is not even popular in Monrovia. Those people dancing way there in Vonjama, you think they got time for that nonsense? Those people who were dancing in River G yesterday, you think they got time for that thing they're talking? Those people who were celebrating in Hapa today, those people who came to celebrate in Town, going all the way to Zweju, Zulu Weske, you think that thing they're talking is resonating with those people? And I saw Wilder friend, a female friend, send me text this. I mean, on Saturday, just today I saw it.
The G where your female friend talking that when you want to tell?
No, not girlfriend. That's somebody I know.
I say girlfriend, I say female friend.
Yeah, but female friend.
Go ahead.
Somebody I know from the estate. Ain't no she in the CDC business. How about Muya having that thing here because your two girls, the Colombians cameo.
Look,
just come here.
Albert, we got a powerful history, Mo. Welcome to the show. Let's come to you, Mo Ali. We got a powerful history.
I hope Mona face that computer there.
Yeah, but Councilor Man began with that. The British, the French, these powerful countries could not subdue us, and we withstood them. The Colombians, look, I don't even want to say anything, but let me ask you a question. Rodney Sear, he runs what we consider one of Liberia's premier news outlet. Whatever you want to call it, it is an important newspaper in the country. And you expect him to call himself in certain fashion that is credible. But it seems Rodney has got in the gutter. Senator Elvin Snow is a senator of our republic, of the great county of Bomi County. He's a senator. You would think he will understand that he himself, if the government collapses or quote-unquote the Colombians come, he himself will get affected. But the likes of Snow have excelled in chaos, so they believe they must always function in chaos. I don't know what's going on, my brother Stanton, that he always have to push and pin Liberia in a way that is not true, but he believes because he has some reach in the country, he can just put things out there. This is one of the reasons why I want to commend people like you that are still very stern to make sure this platform remains. Because I can guarantee you, if this platform was not available, some of the things that the government would have had to address in the country, diabolical lies. This is why we so commit to this platform, because we are fighting for the soul of this country. Let me ask you directly, Mo, what is Senator Elvin Snow's agenda? Does he care about the truth, or does he only care about the collapse of this country? Because I don't know what he's up to, Mo. On mute.
Hi, good evening. So I could not come on the show earlier. Am I okay?
You're okay, but now the usual Mo is still low, but you're okay.
Yeah, everybody, please mute because I've been jotting notes since this drug thing started. I could not come on earlier because I was driving from Buchanan here. It was a very great 2 nights of celebration, independence celebration, and then yesterday when the protem paraded with the yellow machines in Buchanan, it was really a sight to behold. While I will answer that question, I want to respond to all of them. Senator Snow, my own big brother. I've never responded to Amara Kone before in anything. But for the first time, I will attempt to. Rodney CA and all of it. Look, I can understand what Stanton is doing. First of all, the intent of the entire opposition is to make it look like busting a drug cartel, busting drug catch means that it is a failure for the government. That, oh, the government is bringing drugs in the country. They want to make it look like government people went in and brought drugs. That logic is so faulty. During our campaign, again, let me repeat, we said we will fight the influx and distribution of narcotics drugs in this country. The current DEA administration has done extremely well. They have gone and dismantled ghettos upon ghettos. Right now, what you have are moving ghettos because they are afraid to settle one place. Now, every time we hear all over in the world, in advanced countries, drug bursts, and the leading country when it comes to, smuggling drugs in is the United States. That is the reason why they have armies all over in South America, that Colombia, they're helping them to fight. For somebody to sit on the show, Rodney CA, and argue that it is not possible following a lead from a retarded old man like Samuel Jackson, that it is not possible for that quantity, 4.2 tons of drugs, to come in this country without the knowing of top government officials. What came here pales to what goes into the United States on an hourly basis in any states at 0.000 something percent. But by their logic, by Rodney C's logic, by Senator Amara Cone's logic, by Senator Edwin Snow's logic, by retarded old man Samuel Jackson logic, that all the huge quantity of drugs that enter the United States, there are United States officials involved in it. And all of these people, with the exception of Senator Snow, they live in the U.S. Senator Connor went to school in the U.S. Rodney C. lives in the U.S. as we speak. And their logic when it comes to Liberia is deliberately faulty because they believe that the government should fail. Rodney C. is a very huge supporter of WEA. He was very hurt when we defeated WEA. Senator Snow will say anything to ensure that government fails because he has declared that a senator is sitting saying they draw the cash quota way in nothing compared to the one they caught from the airport or this one, and nothing is happening. Senator, I am not surprised by your logic. Because in the first place, if nothing was happening, it would not have been possible to catch that girl. That is the first thing. If nothing is happening, people will sit idly like they used to sit for the exportation, importation, exportation of drugs. When we say we will fight, it means we will catch it. And let me say something that I said that night. And they took the video and called it short. I said during that time when their drug king and the coalition and started there, they distributed it to young people. When drugs come, this time we'll catch it, we'll burn it. In fact, I like the statement that the EPS director made. He said, we will burn their 4.2 tons of cocaine, we will record it and send the video to them. Let them come. Then the next thing there is, Rodney always has evidence. He always has evidence. He got evidence that a government official executive has the land or the property on which there was drug cash in Royceville. Expose the evidence, he can't. The other day, the same Rodney said he got the names he got. When he exposes those names, the government will collapse. Minutes later, he said he didn't see the government. So I wrote a post on it on Facebook when he said his latest things last night. That if they indict their people and there's no government official, he's done. That means that we are not serious as a country. The government is not serious. And then I made a post. I said, I don't know what kind of journalist is Rodney. Journalists look for evidence to support their claims, to bring out facts. Rodney looked for lies to indict government officials. And then minutes later, somebody sent me a screenshot of the post. Somebody screenshot it and sent it to Rodney. They say, oh, Rodney, why you are on spoon, Mo Ali is attacking you. I will attack you any day. Why you are on spoon, why you are on cook spoon, why you are in cook pot. You say the wrong thing, I'm coming for you. No, don't, nobody should make anybody a friend today. The big brother who I have plenty respect for there. My man, you know, Rodney has the very big people that shape policy opinion internationally. So I told him, I said,
We're gonna know.
if Rodney has evidence against government officials, we beg him to show the evidence. Because you know why? I suffer for this government. I suffer to bring this government to power. I was one of the leading voices. And I don't want any criminal in our government. I don't want anybody in our government who will be trading drugs because we preach against it. When you get the facts, put it out. We will jump on that person and make sure they are out and they are prosecuted. Then the person say, my man, somebody need them. When they call them, it will be bad for the government. I say, let it be bad. I never fought for a government for bad people to be inside. So y'all call the names. Why will a newspaper say they got names and they can't call them? Aren't they patriotic? Why don't they help the security? And then you come back and say the security not serious, they're not catching people. When you are claiming to have names, why don't you expose the names? But what it tells me is that these guys threats on lives for the rest of their lives. Samuel Jackson is posting, he say he spoke with Pablo. When you hear the name Pablo, most times it's associated with drugs. I mean, that is the stereotype. Let's be real. For example, when I travel to the US, unless this recent trip, every time I had to go through extra scrutiny because of my name, Muhammad Ali. In fact, the scrutiny can start from where I'm boarding the plane, either in Brussels or in Ghana. So the last time I went in April for the spring meeting, I told the guy, I said, the border patrol guy, I said, I'll never come to your country again. He said, why? I said, because every time I come, I've been coming here for the last 14 years. And every time I come, it's one thing. He gave me a website address of the border patrol. He said, go lodge your complaint. I filed my complaint, and they investigated, and they sent me a letter with a number. They say, every time you fill in a form, put this number. The moment we plug the number in, you clear. For the first time I went to the US, nobody asked me questions. Because by the time I could call my number, they put it in. If I have my diplomatic passport. So Pablo name from Pablo Escobar. You know the guy name?
Pablo Escobar.
You even watch movie, most of the drug lords from either Mexico or Colombia, all the places that Pablo. This man sitting here eating burger weed. Some video comes on, he say he spoke to his Colombia friend who is Pablo, and the man say the people they are Colombian and the video is authentic and blah 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 blah. The following day, he said he spoke with somebody from the North American drug cartel headquarters in Miami. So I made a post. I said Samuel Jackson is a suspect. Drug cartels headquarters are not places that are visible and open that people can just get on and say, I'm going to UN headquarters in Red here, or I'm going to AU headquarters is located to this place. These are people who are on the run constantly. So if Samuel Jackson knows where a drug cartel headquarters is in Miami for the whole North America, he is a suspect. I'm not happy with the security. He's making those posts. I spoke with the other person. Then Mr. Snow comes out and say, when we try about the attacker on Facebook, me and Rodney Amara Kone, why won't they attack you? You as a senator, you were the one who said you have a credit card number and blah, blah, blah for somebody who involved with drugs. In a Senate hearing, they say, call the name, you say, you're not the witness on the stand. Bro, these guys are attempting to run the field propaganda. Then you go and bring a video. What kind of cartel have press conference and they just do so Marcos?
Yeah, they got there. Yeah, they got there.
But he drunk the head to the medicine and got cause Marcos.
Yeah. What kind of cartel have press conference and all they do is cost, Marcos. If you not bring our who told you that our cartels can operate?
24 hours about with the 73 hours out.
Samuel Square is also a suspect. This video are not even draft for people to see. Samuel Square wrote a letter to the president.
Yeah.
Oh, you know the Colombian cartel, Mr. President, you got to take this thing serious, and it's bad for our country. And you got two foolish guys sitting there who they pay money to talk crap, and you say 24 hours.
Yeah, the Colombian.
What are they?
It's been get a wrong going there.
Then they're talking about how the cartel is very powerful.
Look at.
My man, so the entire attempt is to make the drug bust to Lula.
Yeah.
The government brought the drugs.
Yeah.
So I asked one of them, I said, let me ask you something. Because the level of stupidity is mind-boggling. If that government want to bring drugs in be like a transit point to
Yeah.
sell it, security people will know about it. Small security people. That
40.
can steal, it's stored somewhere, and nobody going there, and it's gone. People need to get sense in this country. And I was surprised last night I had a statement from my own big brother, Senator Amara Kone. Senator Amara
So
Kone
let me
said
find the video.
because there were people were saying security people were involved, and there were few security people who they are now undergoing investigation. Therefore, the statement by the public is true entirely. Senator Big Brother Amara Konen, that is a syllogistic reasoning. It doesn't follow. That's non sequitur. Everywhere in the world, drug laws, drug cartels got people in security. They have them on payroll. Is it sanctioned by the security sector? No. Is it sanctioned by the government? No. In America, some of them, they can call them dirty caps. When they catch them, then that's it for them. If they not catch them, that's cool with them. They continue their trade.
Mo.
Amen.
Mo, you want to hear the cartel talking?
Yeah, I want to hear them talking.
Let hear the cartel more.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, wait.
This message is to Joseph Boakai Jr., Akagio Joe. This message is of you former partners from Colombia. You dirty motherfucker, after how many times we worked together, you have decided not to steal from us after all these years. We have 10 tons in Liberia and you only put on the news 4 tons. You and the hate of NDLEA stole the 6 tons and no one to resell it. And on top of that, we pay $2 million to that motherfucker we calling us a kid. We have paid that to the head of the police to release our 2 guys and set them off the country tomorrow. We're gonna let them do their statement and we're gonna release all pictures of you and the pitch of the mystery of the friends. We'll have managed the entrance of our units.
Mo, the cartel there? Yeah, there.
So, let me close up like this. I come in. Let me close up like this. Guys, what kind of cartel? Somebody will write press conference call and give it to them. They write statement for them, give it to them. They say can't read it. Who told you? Who told you drug laws are stupid people? That you can't read something. This message is for Jojo Bwaka. What many people think that everybody's stupid like them?
Man, the man's realizing the thing.
Who told you that cartels they sit and have press conference that somebody read something?
But it's a little say a man a on time ECOWAS the things authentic.
So they just sat down, they wrote some paper and go pay some foolish men and gave them money and they sit down and start reading nonsense. And they're talking about they massage is for really cartel now sit down and holding paper. And he even know how to read a paper. And they think everybody's supposed to believe them. Or what? I mean, they may talking my phone plate. So
but so Mr. Number, people go to the phone lines, you know.
But we gotta work on our computer. You see, in here the feedback when you're on. Is there something?
I mean, please buy me one computer.
The cartel ain't give us on the $2 million.
There's a few. Hey, I know y'all want me to plug cartel.
We not get money to buy $2 million. We not get some to buy computer.
I need one Apple computer. I swear. Somebody
More music. Madam Mavi, if you get Tenji video, send it to me. I will play. I can find Tenji video. I've not seen it yet, but I can find it. Tenji got a rebuttal to that video, and people say it's very funny. And Tenji always goes live. But let's hear from the audience in the meantime.
Yeah, Dwalu, let me just say something on a serious note.
Go ahead.
On a serious note, these people, what they are doing, they are harming our country. For whatever political reasons you are doing things that you think will be in your own interest, you are harming our country. It is not free speech. Our Constitution does not permit any kind of thing that will jeopardize the public safety, the sanctity of the state, and the order of the state. What they are doing is wrong. They must stop what they are doing. I'm not saying people should not support or help or give information, because every security around the world, the only reason they crack on crime is because people give them information, because crime is committed always in the dark. But to be naming people, putting people pictures up, the last time one of the other newspaper put a group of police people picture up, including Olu Briggs and all that, just to realize the man was never called, never arrested, nothing. People should stop doing. Yesterday, again, Friday, they published one letter from the Minister of State. Another minister created a letter saying they dismissed the police director. Yeah? What a man can be doing this kind of thing? And people can believe it.
Guess what? So, the stupidity about that whole letter was that even Gregory Coleman need a misspelled it. They say Coleman, C-O-L-E-N-E-A. And then they say Connor.
But the minister is still not to spell the man name. I mean, how can they do that? What desperation is that?
So I'm coming by myself one new computer. Because I don't want firing people beating you too low.
Yeah, boy, it is. You're low.
But you know, Taji made one post. She said, I've seen many things in this life, and I've seen cartel. You reach your life now. The cartel.
Let me play. Let me play, bro. Let me play my sister Tenji. Tenji for a. But in the meantime,
how are you doing today? I'd want to make announcements for Joseph Boycott, his son, and his papa. I like dirty drugs. If I'm getting dirty drugs, you have 74 hours before I come Liberia with my Indian friends to collect all my dirty drugs. Because now this is very serious. I have my $300 million in Liberia and I come for it. I come anywhere. I come by air. I come by sea. I take my dirty.
so but guys, you take some phone calls from Liberian people from all around. Call into the show, have your say. Let's have a discussion. I'll take a few calls. We don't have Harris in studio tonight, but international, you can call the number is 774-578-1963. Let's hear your position. Even the Indians are requesting the drugs from Liberia, but we'll wait until somebody can pick up the rest of the drugs. Okay, let's hear your calls. We got our first caller. Your caller, you're live.
Good evening, panelists. Good evening to all.
Hey, Manuel.
We are more honorable man and professor. And, I don't want to give him 2 minutes, but this is something. The whole drug business has been so sick to the stomach till I've been discouraged. I feel fun, I feel good, I pray at the cost, but as I studied the whole situation, I just want to list a couple of people you guys been talking about. Melvin Sloan. I know this guy so much. But he young boy that he been a funny little kid. I can't trust him 24/7. I remember when my sister was superintendent during the administration,
and they wanted her to divide counting money, which she refused to do. They had all kinds of things to say. Snow had the audacity to sit in section and said that my sister had given her school the portion of the money and refused to pay the portion of the money. In section, he lied on her. When her husband heard that thing on radio, he went back and called a press conference and stated that Representative Snow had lied on the church, and he, being the head of the church, was rebuking his statement. They ran straight to the president and said the woman husband was talking to them. The man said, yes, I will speak to her because you lied on my wife. So Snow used to lying. Let's come to Amara Kone. May the soul of Solomon John rest in peace. I listened to him one time. He said Amara Kone and 12 were working alone, and 12 been giving the American giving Amara Kone information about 12, so that's why they were able to put him on the American session. So Amara Kone, we can't trust him. I can't trust Amara. I mean, he started off for good footing, but he's not doing his work as a senator. Let's come to run this here. Wasn't run this here put in jail for lying on somebody? He couldn't pay that money.
Yeah.
So what kind of reputation does he have? So if the government don't come down and crack down on the people hard, because look, you and myself will understand, but there are lots of other people out there who cannot understand. Now you tell the person cartel coming, they won't come in. When cartel come, that one person will come to call.
Okay, again.
Let them soon. You as a senator, getting all that greater, your story big, you get all the interest, they won't have it as your way. How many German you will have anymore?
Listen there, Matu. Listen there.
All of them. Revelation chapter 21 verse 8 says all liars, including Snow, including police, including Sia, who been in jail for lying, will have a part in the lake of fire where there will be brimstone, and they will cry for help, they will not get help. Let us leave us alone.
Thank you.
See how my brother been celebrating our independence. I haven't seen it in my life before. I'm 54 years old. I haven't seen 26 being celebrated worldwide as it has been for the past 2 years. Let them leave the country. They will eat our driver. Let eat it in peace.
Thank you, Matu. Thank you. Thank you so much. Caller, you're live. Your name and where you calling from? Hello, caller. Caller, you're live. Your name and where you calling from? Hello, caller.
Yeah, my brother Dwaru, how you doing?
Hey, Jerry, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, we bless God for left. The niece Jerry James Dobley and calling from Springfield, Mass. My brother, people there who call themselves senator in Liberia, some of them, what I've noticed, during the power regime, so they were boo, so that now they know how to talk. They're more on spoon talk, saying a lot of funny things. I mean, some of the people they are misplaced in society don't get made. Exact number one, as Snow. Let me be actual to the information. You get information, another guy get that shit on his face, he say in general. These are people that been fooling our people in Liberia. Can you imagine some of them they learn both pass through there and get us? This government is not a playboy government. I want to continue to tell them. If you know how to talk, keep your information to yourself. We don't need your information. Keep your information to yourself. Why you want for the government to sack Reverend Kumo? You're just playing for it. Will not work. It will not work. Back to the center.
Thank you.
My brother, for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Government.
Caller, you're live. Your name and where you calling from? Hello, caller. Yes. Yes, please listen to the headset.
Okay.
Yo.
I just want to speak on the behavior of people on Spoon TV like Senator Snow and those few people that are being on Spoon TV. They feel this. My name is Harrison Bible, calling from Des Moines, Iowa. Hello?
You're live. You're live. Keep talking.
Yeah, my concern is these people are acting like they are very happy for Colombia. Okay, they are trying to authenticate that video that was made somewhere in the corner, pretending that they are Colombian people. But as far as we are concerned, we are a nation by ourselves. We are people. We're not going to run away from our country. Let us go and bring a Colombian that they're talking about every day. We are prepared. Let a Colombian come for their drug. We buy that drug.
On TV.
Don't drug people that don't put a drug in our country.
Oh, caller, you're live. And where you calling from? Hello, caller. Yeah, you're live.
Yeah, Lolo. So this is Jerry. I'm calling from Freetown.
You're live.
Yeah. So Lolo, my concern is just on the issue of the laws. I think there is hard time. It's hard time that we try to implement our laws that we have on the book.
I agree.
That's my concern.
I agree.
We have a cyber law, and I think that cyber framework needs to be taken into consideration.
I agree.
And so we need to ensure that that happens, because people are just taking advantage and saying all kinds of things to misrepresent the facts and misinform the public, creating terror and fear. And we cannot sit to allow that to happen down. So the government, in fact, the Liberia Communication or Telecommunication Authority, the LPA, needs to start monitoring. I'm not saying keeping surveillance on people, but monitoring this kind of posts to look at the veracity of the information coming. And if they cannot prove it, they need to be called to order. You cannot put the public in fear and in terror. This is something that we need to take into consideration. I think we need to start implementing the cyber laws. We got laws on the book to curtail these issues.
Yes, sir.
Why can't we just apply the law?
I agree.
That's my concern.
Thank you. I agree. 100%. Caller, you're live. Your name and where you calling from?
Yes. Hello.
You're live.
This is Iowa.
We're listening. We're listening, sir.
Yeah, well, I'm as a supporter of this government. I'm so vexed. I'm vexed to the extent that I don't know how to control my decision. What is the government doing about this whole and allowing these people running with their misinformation and nothing is being said? This is very bad. You can't continue like this. You have to put check to the people. It's not freedom of speech. Liberia is a gullible society. Anything how the Liberian people receive it. So there should be a serious call that the government has to wake up. You follow when you get on talk, you say that Lord, I know who bring the drug in. The drug everybody, the drug water. The president is an importer of the drug. You implicating the president and everything that ain't called freedom of speech.
Thank you.
Look, there's something need to be done.
I agree.
The government, the security people need to wake up. And let me just end. Take for instance the lack of American calling. Okay? The lack of American dialogue. I think senators there should be having something they have access to classified or unclassified information. Okay? And if you're coming out and saying these things, they mean that you are not in favor of the state. This should be stopped. If you have any problem as senator, you need to meet up with the security people and discuss it. You're not supposed to be on Stone Talk and discussing security matters.
Thank you.
It's not fair.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Caller, we'll take this caller one more. That will be the final caller for the night. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller. Yeah, you're live.
Yeah, I'm calling from Island, New York.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you see this drug situation here is like during the normal days they had a kid San Samington kid. When Alexander Joe said that the
basically in a coup because he survived so many coups.
Yep.
And then this time around, the name that got 50 Caraba chief, that was the distant majority, 50 Caraba. So those guys, the Colombian, the guy over there, the coup, and when they put the paper in the hand to name certain people, to implicate certain people, so this way they can have them executed. So on the TV, they can't remember the name they give them the call. They have to be spying behind them to know the name that they are called. So everybody knew it was fake. And it didn't work. That's the same thing those fake Colombia are doing. But one thing, Philip Brown, he's just a non-time for the expression. He's just a mess. Because, I mean, not Philip Brown, but run this year. Today, I read an article from Philip Brown. He said in 2023, before the election, 3 heavy armed men, they one focus down with a Yamaha engine and the offloader, all kinds of things over there. Those stay over there for 6 months. And they told the villager not to go there. And the former president went there and they told the people that they stopped the villager from going there. Where was the Brennan CA's front page America then? He did not report on the day yet. But today, all around with last year, talking about the after year, America Center. Why can't you go find a political party? Therefore, they go find political party.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll take the final caller here for the night. Caller, you are the final caller. You're live.
Yeah, thank you, Dwalo. How you doing? I want to.
All right, Hapu, give us over here.
Okay. We just want to say thanks to the people and the government of the Republic of Liberia for the 179th celebration of our independence. We thank God. I mean, what I saw, I've never seen that all through the nation and the entire world, as far as America and all of the countries you can think about. We just want to say thanks, and we also encourage your station to be calling people on, let them tell us what is happening in the nation, the positive things. Sure. Because when you discuss positive things, you will think positively. I think that's one of the problems in Liberia. Most of our stations are negative, but they propel negative things. So at the end of the day, that's our young people and all the people see Liberia to be so negative and so bad.
That's right.
But I will also encourage you and your people in studio to be calling government officials and other people that are working in government entities to come and tell us what are the unfoldings and what are the things that are going on in the nation.
Yeah.
We say thanks to the President of the Republic of Liberia and all that you guys have discussed to portray our culture and every other thing in the Republic. We saw Great Bassa County, it was on fire. We saw the Senate voting. Imagine one of the person I want to say thanks to. I got so much heart for Liberia and the people of Great Bassa County as well. And lastly, the football team. What happened with the men that were there playing at the end of the day, but they sat there and they couldn't play nothing good. All the ministers and this and that. We want to say,
man, you see the man that got you get up everything. All right, my man. Thank you so much. That's the final caller for the night. And before we go back to the phone lines, I want to say this directly. Let's watch very quickly as these machines enter Maryland County. They didn't get signed, but we'll just watch the video. Tons of machines are entering Maryland County. We are happy for that. Yeah, those are the machines you're looking at. They're going to Maryland County. All these machines. So we go so far. The distribution has been done in Grand Bassa County. They have distributed to River G County. They have distributed to Grand Gita County and now to Maryland County. So these are Maryland's own distribution coming to that county. The former superintendent of Grand Gita County, the superintendent who said the machine come, but the machine they get there on it, so they're not new machine. I don't know what all the job machine does the road from Montreal to Square-Do and get dust on it. Go look at the mileage, big man.
So here is the Calocan checkpoint again. Welcome to.
That's what the machine go. We almost done in grab a 30 more seconds as this machine go into Maryland County. To our people in Maryland, you see your hold those machines with your 2 hands. You're opening those roadways across that county, farm to market. Let's expand our economy and grow Liberia beyond our wildest imagination. Big shout out to the people of Maryland County. We celebrate with you. You're holding with your 2 hands. That's all I can say. Mo, we're going to come back to you and everybody else.
My boy, I'm sorry. I'm coming for her now. I'm going to respond tomorrow to Bob. I sell one computer because they want against it. I was sure.
The people say you playing for all of them. They mean a whole managing director.
I mean, not easy to get money, you know.
The hard bullshit.
Swallow that perception. Another
people.
Yeah. Swallow that another perception people created in the country.
But your IT guys can check it.
That is, I think that what I'll do. I carry tomorrow.
But I don't know why you get feedback. There's something wrong with it.
Yeah. Let me close up. Senators no say we attacking them. Chief. Sooner you go on any talk show you like, when me I hear it, I will react. I will react on Facebook. I will react on my show. I will go react on TikTok. Anywhere I get a chance.
More. 1 second before I forget. People say you're going on Spoon. Can you comment on that, please? Because people been asking.
So somebody confronted me this evening. It was Fatima. He said, "Oh, hey, going on Spoon." So the other night, what's his name? Sam Jackson. So they were discussing the scene, how he got in touch with the cartel. Then he said, you know, the video is good. I know the cartel. I grew up in the project. So I sent a message to Stanton. I said, but the same Sam Jackson man said he grew up in Sony Wayne. How did he grow up in the project again in New York? So Stanton said, my man, your sermon talk is so cold. So I called Stanton. By the time I want to ask him, Jassy, he said, no, you know the relationship between me and Mo is like cat and dog. I will close my ear. I will not hear it. And blah, blah, blah. So I asked him. Because I told him today, I said, Papi, if you actually grew up in Sony Wayne I brought some of the decent people you would have known to post better on Facebook. Because you never grew up there, so you know how to post good on Facebook. Everything about you that man cause. You causing everybody. I really believe now that from that cartel video, I really know now that Samuel Jackson is member of that cartel. He knows about them. The only thing
you got him Marcos, eh?
Yeah. So I want to say, when you go out on stations and lie, we will correct you. We will bring to fore the reality. There's nowhere in the world where drug bust has become a failure. There's nowhere you can tell me, say, okay, so the way they men are talking it, let me put it in a simple way. It like people being stealing. You catch the criminal. You catch the criminal, they say, because you catch a criminal, you know about it. Not possible for criminal to be there and you know about it. So you catch a criminal, you know about it. That logic. Senators Amara Kone and Senator Snow, and I will say again, Rodney say pretending to be a journalist is not. They put in that logic. That logic doesn't make sense anywhere. It doesn't make sense anywhere. We are fighting. We are succeeding. Let me close.
I got your video cue.
The reason why they are having this drug thing is because the successes, they doubted the yellow machine thing. The yellow machine, they say it was AR. It will not happen. The yellow machine came. Now the yellow machine is being distributed in the counties. They don't want the country to hear that success story. They don't want us to sit here and talk about the impact the yellow machine will have, like Minister Brownie Samuka did the other night. So their best bet was to go and sit down and form a cartel and cause everybody man inside and bring it up. So in the 2 hours and passing that Marcos cartel released that thing. The only thing they would have said in that video, I believe, they say if they were coming say we'll open Marcos war, I'll come and believe them. but nothing else. And so that entire video is intended to distract the public's attention from the distribution of the yellow machine. It's not because we're not succeeding in the fight against drugs. We are. They want us to tell the people of Liberia that 16 yellow machines, moving equipment, trucks, flatbed, went to Grand Gide. They want us to let the other parts of the country know that the same quantity went to River G, that they gone to Maryland, they are going to Grand Bassa, and the other counties who will go, and the hubs are there. They don't want the rest of the country to know. I've got one of the videos from River G. It was a lady standing recording. Whoa, President Baka, thank you. They said they think I will lie. That's why they don't want. So the creator of cartel, CDC creator of cartel, Samuel knows about it. He was the first to write letter. So every day Ukanya will talk about our yellow machine. Tomorrow, President Baka is going to do two things. Number one, he will commission or dedicate or commission, which one? The road from Banga to Salaye. And in the same token, he will break ground for another 50 kilometers of road, I think from Salaye to Konya. And guess what? Minister Gafwan, Public Works Minister, they went and look for that money is there.
78.2 million.
Is going few. We are getting there. Exactly. They will dedicate and they will break ground. I'm talking from Salaye to Konya, Zozo to Yela corridor. You see, Salaye, Konya, and Zozo to Yela, that whole corridor. These are the things they don't want you to hear. So they went and created a cartel. They wrote the press conference. Who are writing that kind of press conference and give it to them. The unfortunate thing is the guy can't even read. So I guess somebody was standing on the side telling him, say, my man, read it, they will read it that way. You're good now, people.
Thank you, Mo. Before you leave, let me play a video that you sent me. Just to be sure, 1 second.
But what if you didn't get some? Hello?
The video get some?
But I ain't hearing some.
So, Mo, what's the video about? Mo, what's the video about? Before we go. Now, Mo put that video up. What's the video about, Mo?
It's part of the celebration.
Oh, okay. And by the way, before Councilor Mon comes in, yes, I think you're talking about everybody comes in. For a year, but they lie. Councilor Mon, your party statement.
I saw another video from Kawiken, Bebo Kawiken. Yeah. That one, the ladies were playing drum games and marching in front of the machine when they were passing the River G. You know, Kawiken is almost like the Eleganta, is the commercial city of River G. And that place is, it was very nice, you know. But look, I don't think I'm going to go with a drug cartel, man, because really it beats my imagination. It doesn't make sense. I don't know how people can be vexed that people catching drug people than the best. I don't understand it. Man, I can't wrap my brains around that. But I want to close on again the celebration of the 26th, and if we can as I said, with what happened, what I saw over the weekend, if us Liberians across the world, back home and across the world, can take this and take the advantage to take it to another level, that is now trying to push our culture, our heritage, to our children, and begin to elevate our values as Liberians, no matter where we find ourselves. I think that a lot of good things can come out of these celebrations, these identities, and I think this should be a stepping stone or a catalyst for all the different Liberian communities in the diaspora, especially those from the different ethnic groups, to now get into understanding our culture, our tradition. Look, forget about where you belong, whether they party, that party, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I have seen too many individualistic tendencies in Liberians in the diaspora, especially here in a big place like Philadelphia. I think sometimes it's disappointing, but again, like the orator would say, we should always take that disappointment, turn it into positive things. I don't think it's ever late for us to look at one umbrella and begin to gather our forces around it. There are guys doing. There's a guy who is doing something about what I think it says Africa something. I think he was with the Library Association of Pennsylvania, and then he wanted to bring that umbrella to be doing real services to the community. I think I understand they were not seeing his vision, and everybody bring politics. You see, most of the thing yet also like so much politics and cover it, and politics doesn't help us. Sometimes we put the politics aside and do things as a people. So I'm hoping that that euphoria can build and that we can start to have real celebrations of our identity, our culture, and bring it down to our families. I hope that we don't let this one day come and by the time it's done, it's over with. We have plenty of things to celebrate in our identity and everything. So it doesn't even have to be only for 26. And Gualu, I was hoping that sometime in the program, maybe we can allot some slot, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, probably to sometimes read some of our text messages. Because sometimes I think everybody will be able to call, but some of the texters can send some very.
Yeah, I highlight them, but we can read them.
Yeah, because some people listening on the radios back home and other places, not watching. Yes, and some people watching again read the thing. We'll not be able to read all because there are too many people, too many text messages. But at least we can read some, because some of them say some very inspiring things and some very serious things. So I think if we can do that, maybe a lot after your phone calls from home and then the diaspora, before we wrap up, then we'll read a couple of text messages, scroll through them, and then we can do that. At least the point in the diaspora, you're reading a text message, you can stay on small.
I agree. No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
So
I think we'll start doing that.
On the celebration.
Mm-hmm.
On Sunday morning, which was the independence itself, when people were gearing up, there were some other people who started posting, "Oh, it's the worst independence ever, it's this and that." Okay, then by the afternoon hour, the celebration kicked off everywhere. And then we say, "Oh, but the celebration is the best." They say, "Oh, it's not politics, it's not because of the government." And Senator Dillon made a post, and many other people made similar posts. If and when the celebration goes bad, it's the government. When it goes good, then are the people being patriotic. The people are patriotic. But let me say something, and I'm going to write on it. If these people were hungry, if they were looking for food all over, they couldn't get rice to buy. They couldn't get gas to put in their motorbikes and their car. Nobody will come and go for celebration. If they didn't have small money to put in their pocket, they were not going to go for celebration. Because the people who are going for celebration, they're going there. Part of the celebration is to enjoy. Like like Ambrose was saying from the beginning, the people who selling drinks around there and all over, that drink will finish. Nobody goes to celebration of such nature on empty pocket. And what that tells me is that the economy is better. Nobody said it was a political party celebration. Nobody went over there with a UP t-shirt. In fact, everybody that I saw everywhere wore red, white, and blue, a representation of the country's national color. In Grand Bassa, in the diaspora, in everywhere, everybody wore the country's color. Nobody wore political party color. Your time, the reason why people used to refuse to go, because you wear your CDC beret, you wear your CDC t-shirt, you go say muya muya. Nobody say muya muya. Good night, Dwalu.
All right, Mo. Dwalu, you frozen?
Thank you, Mo. It is not about muya muya. It's about the celebration of life. Am I frozen? Can you hear me?
No, okay, now it's okay.
Maybe I'm frozen. But today I'm just going to play this one, my parting statement tonight.
All right.
I'm going to just play this for my parting statement tonight as the species are being celebrated. Guys, listen, guys. Hope is coming to Liberia. My brother Gamo Ukesali is absolutely right. Hope comes to Liberia. Let's part tonight with this posting statement.
No matter the struggle, no matter the hard times, Liberia will rise again. Liberia shall prosper. Liberia shall prosper. Prosper. Rise again. From the villages to the city lights, the people keep holding on. Through every storm and every trial, the nation still stands strong. The market women keep working, the young people still dream big. Farmers planting for tomorrow, believing better days will live. The children singing in the schoolyards, hope shining in their eyes. Liberia can move forward when the people stand united. Raise your hands for Liberia. Lift your voice across the land. Together we can build the future. Together we can stand. The rivers, mountains, and oceans still carry hope today. And Liberia shall prosper if the people lead the way.
Yes, Liberia shall prosper. Despite what anybody tells you, hope comes to Liberia. Like I said, it's incumbent upon all of us to continue to elevate the issue of Liberia. I began the conversation today just speaking directly to my brothers in soup, and I'm begging them to understand that if this country is going to grow, they must do their part. They cannot be used as a pawn in a brutal game where people believe in a country that they must have chaos in Liberia in order to maintain power. We must disorganize anybody who's bent on having chaos in Liberia. We cannot have this. This country has to grow, and I'm going to challenge every young person in the country. Continue to celebrate your country, continue to embrace your country, and do everything you can for your country to grow. Once again, my name is Mr. Dwalu. As always, see you guys tomorrow. Mo, you got a comment before I play the party song?
Well, let me keep it for tomorrow. It's about our soup. I will talk on it tomorrow.
Okay.
And then the seditions.
All right. Thank you so much.
The seditions are causing anti-meta formula all over the place.
Oh yeah. All right, my mom. You got more too. All right, my man.
All right, Balu, thank you and good night.
Yeah, Liberia developing. This is the Class Reloaded, the #1 online show that brings the truth. Showcasing JMB and JKK progress all across the country.
Oh, the Class Reloaded, we are online every day. Hey, showcasing progress the Liberian way.
Well,
JMB and JKK, they're making the way. The Class Reloaded, we're shining today. Hey, oh.
From Monrovia City to the other counties, development talk shake the country. We talk the truth, we don't lie. The rescue mission making people smile. Roads getting better, schools better, electricity stable, no more hoping. We see the change, we see the light. Unity Party doing things right. Who talk the facts?
The Class Reloaded.
Who bring the vibe?
The Class Reloaded.
Support development.
The Class Reloaded.
Who better arise again? Oh yes we can. Who talk the facts?
The Class Reloaded.
Who bring the vibe?
The Class Reloaded.
Support development.
The Class Reloaded.
Who better arise again? Oh yes we can.
The Class Reloaded, we are online every day.
Every day.
Hey, showcasing progress the Liberian way.
Well, JMB and JKK, they're making the way. The Class Reloaded, we shining today.
Hey,
Hey,
hey.
turn up the sound, let the people dance. Liberia progress, we get the chance. No fake news, we bring the proof. The Class Reloaded, always in the booth. From social media to the street corner, everybody talking about the new order. Respect to the hosts, they keeping it real. Liberia future, that's the deal. The Class Reloaded,
Truth.
Liberia rising,
Progress.
JMB and JKK,
Develop.
the rescue mission, we move soon.
The Class Reloaded.